And we're back.
Are we back?
We are back. We are live. We are here to thrive. This is the Matrix Network. Live.
It was when after that big, the big intro, the curtains roll back. It's like nobody's here.
Yeah, malfunction. I guess I have it on an automatic timer. I guess it didn't timed out. It's fine.
Very nice, very nice.
Well, so how's everybody doing today? I see we already got some people in the live. People are ready.
Yeah.
People are hungry.
Yeah. Well, we're here to feed them.
We're here to thrive.
We're here to eat together.
We're going to ride.
We're going to sup.
Until the wheels fall off.
We're going to sup together.
Yeah.
Does this thing work?
It does work. Is it hot?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little cold in Russia today.
Yeah. Over here in Siberia. Uh-oh, we shouldn't have told them our location.
Oh, yeah. Is it on? Is this thing on?
It is on.
Like Diddy Kong.
Yeah, like the Panopticon. I think you guys are going to enjoy this week's episode. We move from PsyOps to structural control and behavioral engineering. And we give multiple examples of modern time issues on 5 different sections on how the government utilizes structural controlling and behavioral engineering. So PsyOps, they tried to control what you think. Structural control and behavioral engineering try to control what you do. So that's all I'll leave you with that. I think you guys will enjoy it. But this week, 189, programmed prison.
Planet.
Yeah, shout out to Mr. Jones. Yeah, that's a really good name. I would love to have that, Prison Planet, but it's taken, trademarked, and probably bought by the CIA now.
Junk Files is still open.
Yeah, are you going to junk it?
I mean, they're still on my desk.
See, Ted B's actually giving the deets. He's gonna get flacked.
Is he spilling tea right now?
He says we're really in Greenland. He's telling them the truth.
Oh, yeah. You know what's funny is Greenland is actually ice. It's covered in ice. And Iceland is covered in green grass. Why they did that, why they called Greenland green and Iceland. It's
probably a psyop. Like, they want people to go to Greenland. Well, Iceland, but it's Greenland. But if they said it was Iceland, nobody would want to go there. Mm-hmm. So to get people to go there, they say, this is Greenland. This is flourishing. And people get there. They spend all this time. They go over the whole ocean because you have to go across an ocean because they're in Denmark. Denmark owns Greenland. And they get there and it's like, wow, this is not Greenland. But are you going to get back on the boat and go back? Probably not. So them and their, 60,000, 80,000 people?
Yeah. I saw something interesting recently, actually, about we're supposed to lose gravity on the 16th, I think.
Yeah, I heard about that. I didn't read the paper.
Or is it the 6th or 12th? It's the 12th, I think it is.
And NASA said there's going to be like a couple seconds of like loss of gravity or something.
Yeah, but the problem is, I think it's all bogus. One guy exposes it. Actually, a couple of people expose it. And they say what's actually going to happen is a solar eclipse. That's what's going to happen. I think it's either the 12th or 16th of January or whatever. Yeah,
because I read another paper that said we're supposed to have one of the largest, it's called the corona mass injection, where there's a solar flare that we've had in history.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, something's going to happen. Either solar flare or solar eclipse. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up again. It was a stupid video on social media. I didn't do any research on it.
Well,
I wasn't prepared to talk about it, but
I was reading a couple of things about it, but there was some official papers, but I didn't read that.
Yeah, we care so much. But what's interesting, what germane to our topic, is the best place to view this, whatever's going to happen on January 12th, I think it is in Greenland. Like, that's going to be the place where either the solar flare or the solar eclipse.
Well, whenever you get these solar flares or these massive corona mass injections, what it does is it messes with our magnetic our magnetic field. So what you get are the northern lights.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you see that, you know how you ever, I don't know if, hopefully you guys ain't doing it, but as a kid, you might have put like a magnet or a speaker up to the TV and it turns rainbow. It's basically what's happening when these solar flares come in and messes with our magnetic field, and it creates that rainbowish effect. So yeah, I would assume Greenland would be the best place to probably see that.
I guess. It's an awful big coincidence that's the place. It's like Trump wants the front row seat.
Mm.
But he didn't have to take it, though. He could have asked politely to just sit and watch. I don't know why he had to take it over and slaughter everybody.
Wow. That's an expensive price to get some good view.
Yeah, well, don't quote me on it.
Mm.
I'm going to look up, actually, what's happening on January 26th real quick. Or it's January 12th, I think. What's happening?
You know, Ted B actually says you do realize today's the 22nd.
Yes, I do realize that. When was the thing? Maybe I have the date wrong completely. Maybe it was it supposed to be this month?
See, Ted B's over there fact checking the Matrix.
Nothing ever works smooth.
Yeah, maybe we're not up to snuff.
Oh, okay. No. Okay. It's not January. It's August.
So it's right before the elections.
I suppose so.
That's interesting because the elections is in November, the midterms. All right, is it? Yeah, I think it's November. But anyways, that'd be an interesting convenience, wouldn't it be? You get one of the largest coronal mass injections. It knocks out all the satellites. It messes up all our data. We lose internet access. It causes an emergency act to be initialized. And it could be so catastrophic that we may have to pause elections. How about that?
How about
that?
Well, let's see. I'm going to let this guy go into some of the details because I don't want to sit here researching all this stuff. So you guys will just have to take what this guy says with a grain of
toilet paper,
whatever you want to call it. Okay, I'm going to put it up. T-minus 10 seconds.
I see David Zerm. Welcome, Mr. David Zerm. King James.
Yeah, should I read the comments real quick?
No, they were just introductory.
Okay.
He wanted to tell us welcome to the steak matrix.
Apparently, NASA has debunked Project Anchor and the fact that there will be 7 seconds of no gravity on August 12th of this year. Well, looky what I found. On August 12th of 2026, there will be a total solar eclipse. Just wait till I tell you where the path of totality is. The solar eclipse will best be viewed around Iceland, Greenland, and Spain. Greenland! But this is even crazier. The total solar eclipse on August 12th, 2026 will arc near the North Pole, passing south as it travels from Siberia over the Arctic Ocean. Apparently, this will cause unusual movement because it goes over the pole from east to west. The path time jumps backward, creating a time traveler effect. Huh? Now, this is a rare one, people. It will be the first total solar eclipse visible in Iceland since June 30th, 1954. Oh, and it hasn't happened in Spain since August 30th, 1905. This thing's gonna cause a time traveler effect at the magnetic North Pole. But there's more. The eastern half of Greenland, where the totality will be, is uninhabitable. To the east in the path of totality, you'll find only military bases. Weird. If you want to get really deep, the bright star Regulus should be visible during the total solar eclipse. To the east of the sun. Egypt, anybody? Everything's coming together. But anyways, I better quit talking before I get a knock on the door. Is this going to happen? I'm not sure. But all signs say maybe, just maybe. So apparently.
So it's a solar eclipse that's going to happen. Yeah, I was just reading here. I guess the largest solar radiation storm or coronal mass injection in 20 years already happened. I guess it was on the 19th. It was so interesting, we always say propagation. I mean, acclimation leads to propagation. So, we always been hearing constantly, watch out. These solar storms are going to knock out all of the electronics, the satellites, everything. I guess this was already happened.
19th of January.
Yeah, it's already happened. But, it won't surprise me. Because what stops the government to say that there's a solar flare coming? But really, they just they set off, let's say, a nuclear bomb up in the atmosphere. And it causes the same reaction. And they can just say, oh, it was the solar flare, the largest in world history, and it knocked out all this stuff. Or they don't even have to do that. They could just say that and then just cut off access to people except for the government. And they can just say it's because of the solar flare. Because they keep telling us, hey, warning you, solar flare is coming, coronal mass injection. It can knock everything out. But yeah, everybody talks about solar eclipse. It's not really supposed to do anything, but what if it does? And again, it's like, who do you believe? The gatekeepers are here.
Well, one kid apparently had a little bit more knowledge than everyone else.
What did you say is going to happen on January what?
20th.
What's going to happen?
A black hole appeared. The black hole appeared.
And do what? What's it going to do?
Sucked us.
What? Where are we going to go?
What?
Where are we going to go?
To the other universe.
Any asteroids?
But this is got the planet 5,000.
Oh. There's going to be how many asteroids?
Do not die on 2025.
What?
This is giving telepathy tapes.
To me, it's giving regurgitational tapes.
Well, yeah, if you guys have heard of the telepathy tapes, there's autistic children who apparently have telepathic powers. And it seems like this mom thought that she had a winner here. Like, she has this autistic boy who is seeing into the future. Now, the telepathy tapes, so if you guys have heard about it, they're not, these kids, autistic kids, can't see into the future. They don't talk to dead people. They don't see dead people. They don't have any kind of sixth sense or anything like that. They just are able to telepathically communicate with each other and apparently you. But they don't really know how to communicate all the time. And it's a big debate of whether it's legitimate or not. But I've seen a lot of videos, like clips of that, where this lady, who I think she used to be a psychiatrist or a psychologist, whatever, but she left the field because she kind of got pushed out for pushing this fringe idea about autistic children and their super abilities. Anyway, but she has all these experiments online. You guys can go check them out, where she does these placebo things with these kids. It is kind of cool to look at. And then, again, all the testimonials and all that stuff. I haven't spent a whole lot of time on that side of TikTok or YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, but anybody can. Anyway, it seemed like that's what this lady thought. Well, it's this 22nd, and I haven't been sucked yet. So this kid was wrong. They're supposed to be... Well, we're all supposed to get sucked on January 20th by a big black hole.
Well, guess where we're at now? We're in the Matrix network.
Yeah, we're still sitting over here in Calcutta.
And Siberia.
Yeah, that's what I meant. And this kid was just wrong. And there's people in the comments. Like this video of this boy has 25,000 likes. That's not counting how many views. It has 6,000 bookmarks. So people bookmarked this. They haven't unbookmarked yet. This is after the date. So who knows how many bookmarks were there before the date?
We all want our children to be special, and we all want those kind of things. But
of course,
it's like the play on, what was that recent movie propaganda objective stuff, Stranger Things, where you play on the idea that children have these special abilities. And, you want to make it supernatural in some sense. If you really had telepathy and you really had that gift, the government's tapping in.
Well, that's what a lot of critics are saying. It's like, why haven't the government? If the government knew, which they would know if this was legitimate.
Right, that's what I'm saying. The Stranger Things posited that the government already knew.
Yeah, there's actually some conspiracies revolving Russia, or no, or No, I think it was Germany during the was it World War II? Germany was experimenting.
Nazis,
Germany was experimenting with telepathy. Again, I don't know if we can prove any of this, so this is just how the theory goes. And they were doing all these secret experiments, and they found twins, and they found some interesting things. They were actually testing different twins in different locations on the map. They even brought some underneath the water in a submarine to see if one twin could feel and experience the same pains and emotions and information as the other one. And they had a lot of success with this. Let's pretend if it's real, I guess that could be why the government doesn't care, because they've already been doing it. And that's where all those Hawaii kids went. They're all...
Maybe that's what the Epstein Island really was, is propagated as a child pedophilia, so nobody would examine it and say, oh, that's disgusting, but it really was a harboring ground for these special children.
Yeah, and Epstein was Papa on Stranger Things. Yeah. So he would be Papa. And didn't he die in that show?
I think so.
I think Papa died. You guys can correct me if you're wrong. Yeah, Papa's dead.
One big thing that I know that was legitimate, even the United States was investigating, is called remote viewing, which we've shown people claim they have those abilities. But it was called, and what's ironic is that the AI database that the United States is collaborating with OpenAI, Larry Ellison's Oracle, and I think it's Sunbank, but I can't remember, but also with Meta. But it's called Stargate. Well, the operation in 1972 was the CIA's operation in investigating remote viewing and its ability to utilize those who have remote viewing gifts, and if they could actually see what's going on. And that project was called Stargate. So it's interesting if you connect the two ideas. This one is, a human remote viewing, as though you can gather information that's Gnostic or secret by having access to somebody else's information. And so if you allude that to the government's idea of this AI database, is that they're going to get all your information through this remote center, and it's almost like this is the government's version of remote viewing utilizing AI, but they call it Stargate. But that operation, but I'm saying the Nazis were also investigating stuff like that too, remote viewing.
Isn't this what that Stargate Atlantis movie or show was about?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
No, neither. I haven't seen it, so.
Yeah.
But I know there's a show called Stargate in Atlantis. I think it's talking about Atlantis, Georgia.
The one that's underneath Atlanta.
I don't know.
Well, on to the chats.
Back dork.
What are people saying about all that?
Oh, let's see. Yeah. So Ted is here. David Zerm is here. Neo Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is here. King James is here.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah, Ted says, yo.
Yo. And he corrected us in the chats. The comments in that last video. I called it a yo-yo, but apparently that's a top, not a yo-yo. Our sponsor from last week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The guy that was kicking it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Yeah. That guy's a legend. Then he said, you're really in Greenland. That's why Trump wanted it.
Highly possible, but highly not possible. We're not allowed to say. We're actually in Siberia. That's the official narrative.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
We can only confirm we're in Siberia.
Yeah.
Inside of a bunker. Buried underneath 30 feet of snow.
Mm-hmm.
You must believe us.
Yeah, there's at least 30 feet betwixt us. And then Ted B said, to confuse the invaders. Whoop. He said, whoops, there goes gravity. Yeah, it's Mom's spaghetti.
Man, that always sounds good.
I know. Oh, man, my palms are sweaty. Then he said, you guys don't realize that it's January. Oh, yeah, we already read that. David Zerm said, put that kid in X-Men school. Done.
Oh, it's already been done.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just, thinking about that again, I just don't know what's so... Why, if you had a kid that had that ability, let's say it was true, why would you want that to be public? You already know. If it was, like, just hypothetically, if it was real.
Because it makes you appreciate and not look down on autistic people. Because, like, where they lack here, they have some kind of super ability over here.
I'm not saying that. You would think every parent knows. If it's real and it's public, the government is knocking. You knew that. You won't have a kid.
The government already has their own kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They have.
But if there was something legit,
it's not their own kids. But they have all those Hawaiian children. They have all the Epstein children.
I'm
they have
talking
all
about
these other children,
superpowers.
Trafficking and all.
Like
that
if you
stuff.
had real superpowers.
Yeah, the government already has kids with those superpowers. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but they
don't need ours.
You got to remember, we just we don't want a little stack. We always want more. And if you can get more, you're going to get more.
Yeah, like remember, it wasn't too long ago you talked about CSAM and how Google was CSAMing that couple because they had pictures of their kid in a bathtub on their phone or laptop or whatever. Google got upset about that.
Yeah, and sent it to police.
Yeah. And what's funny is we know that Google is into that. So, it's almost like, a guy is scrolling and then he sees a picture of a nude woman or something. And it's like, most men aren't going to get upset about that kind of thing. Most men. Of course, you always have those off the stranger things. But most men aren't going to get upset about that. It's like some guy getting upset. It's like, why do I see all these naked women out here? It's like, why are you complaining? Or a woman, if she's getting all these naked men, why is she complaining? Now, I get it. If they don't look like Channing Tatum, of course, you got to complain. But assuming they all do look like a bunch of naked Channing Tatums and, Jason Momoas and all them, then nobody's complaining about that. It's eye candy. So when Google is doing this on our phones, they're going through our stuff and they see stuff that they like, the children. And when Trump is seeing things that they like, when he sees our children and other people, younger minors, they're not actually getting mad at that. I think what they're getting mad is that we're with our children. They want the children for themselves. If that makes any sense. Like, why are you doing this without us? Like, they just get mad because, like, I want that child, but I can't have it. So that's why they complain. And ultimately, I think that's why a woman or a man might complain. If they see a naked man or woman, whatever their preference is, the only reason they're going to get mad and complain is because they're upset that they can't have it. Like, well, that's dumb. I don't look like that. I don't have that figure, or I don't have those muscles, or whatever, or I can't have that, so I'm going to complain about it. And that's what it seemed like Google was doing. They were complaining because they saw as like, it's not one of the Hawaiian children, but man, we really want that model, but we can't have it. No, all the money in the world is not going to buy that kid from that family. Anyway, so that's what it seemed like happened. Google's been scrolling through everybody's phones. Yeah, they saw some kids, but they saw one kid that they really liked, and they got upset that they couldn't have that one kid. That's my theory.
Yeah, that reminds me. I was in one of these forums again this week, and I coined this little quote, and it seems pertinent to this. I said, justification is a weird thing. Justification is a fine line between necessity and desire.
You're talking about like, is it JBT?
No, it's just like when we justify our actions or justify our thoughts or justify anything. It's
you might justify your belief, like true belief.
But then you'll be hit with a
boogeyman,
defeater, as they call it. But then you have to deal with double justification. But anyways, as in the philosophical construct. But it's just interesting because we do that all the time. We justify our actions. We usually say, at least I'm not bad as that guy, or at least I'm not this. But justification tends to be a fine line between what I need, my necessities, and what I desire, what I want. And then we fall into these lines of justification just of me so I don't feel guilty. It's not like it's real. It's just I don't want to feel bad. But there are things that you can justify that you need. Like if I see somebody who's starving and they steal a loaf of bread, it would be justified in my mind to say if I was in his shoes, I'd probably do the same. I don't want to die. That's a necessity. But then there's a desire element. It's like Epstein wants these kids. And so, but he'll do the same thing of justifying, oh, these kids, they're orphans or they're some whatever. It's always this fine line between necessity and desire.
Yeah. Well, it seemed like that was Google's justification.
Right. That's what I was thinking when you were saying
yeah.
that. It's like their epitome is desire. They don't need it, but they want it.
I think they were, because they knew they couldn't buy the kid, I think they were trying to get the parents in trouble. Mm-hmm. So that way the police would come take the kid away, and then they can get the kid. But because it didn't work, well, they figured out. Otherwise, yeah, they'd probably do that a lot more. They'd be telling on any kids. It's like, yeah, we're just going to go shopping for kids today, go through everybody's phones, look at some kids in some bathtubs and all this stuff. And I'm sure all the elites are doing it. It's not just Google. So, I'm not just if you're listening, I'm sure you're listening, Google, but I'm sure you're not actually listening to this conversation right now. But if you are, I hope you know this. It's nothing personal. It's just we all know that this is what the elites do. And we know Donald Trump's doing it, Joseph Biden, William Clinton. We know they're all doing it. All of you guys are doing it. Taylor Swift, all you guys, women and men, are doing this. And maybe you're using Google as a medium so you don't have any dirt on your name. I don't know it. I don't care. But that's my theory. So I guess we'll find out. Eventually all things come to light.
At minimum, if we talk about it this week, I think it's section 3. Got like 5 sections on this week, but it's at minimum you can sense it as the panopticon. They want you to feel like I'm watching. I see you. I see everything you're doing. And there's no secrets. And so you start, and at minimum, we talked about also, they're in that same time frame when they were doing that. There's multiple episodes of them doing that to multiple parents. They were also scanning your Google Drive, and they were deleting videos. They were deleting data, obscure things. Like it was the Kanye Champs interview, and just apparently everybody who had that on their Google Drive, it just got deleted. It was so rampant. They actually made a Reddit thread just about that and all the people who got that one video deleted, which to me it seemed like a perfect panopticon because nobody cared. But it's like Google wanted just to show you, even the things you don't care about, if we want to, we can delete it.
Well, there's one that everybody did care about, what happened in that mall in Miami. And that was another one where everybody's phones got wiped. And
with the supposed alien.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Everybody's phones got wiped. And it is weird. Like, to this day, nobody really knows why 30,000 police showed up that day. Nobody knows why.
Wow, that's an army.
Yeah, I know. Well, if you look at the videos, people recording from upper floors and like all around, people were, at least that footage made it to online. And again, maybe that's all part of the psyop too. But there was so many police, it blocked the entire. They took up every lane of every street in that entire area. Every police car, it looked like, in Miami was there for whatever happened. And we still don't know what happened. I don't know how many people in that mall, but there was probably hundreds, if not thousands of people, men, women, and children at that mall, all with cell phones, all ready to go world star on it, and nobody has any footage. And that's weird, too. It's like, so nothing happened. Why don't we have any footage of that nothing that happened? That's weird. And, yeah, everybody's saying, yeah, the government deleted my photos. It's not there. Like, that's what a lot of them said. Some people said that the police took their phone and never got their phone back. Some people did get their phones back, but the video was deleted. Other people who thought they got away, they woke up the next morning to show friends and colleagues their videos, and it's gone all of a sudden. They weren't going to say anything, but now they're saying something because now the footage that they took is gone. And maybe they're all these hundreds and thousands of people are all making up the same story. Maybe they're all briefed or something. They're all on the big collusion.
Right.
But it's hard to believe. It's like, okay, so nobody was recording that day? Nobody? No, nobody. Nobody had any footage of the nothing that happened. I don't know. It's just weird.
Well, like we talk about in this week, the panopticon is about self-censorship. So, like, think about if, again, it can be a false flag that forces the panopticon. So these two families, and it went viral, these two families, they got their photographs of their naked child, which is their child, and they were taking this child. One was for they could send these pictures to the doctor because the doctor needed some photographs of their knee and some other things. And the other one, because, like a lot of people that take pictures of their child when they're 1 or 2, taking a bath or whatever.
Yeah, me and my wife have pictures of both of our kids in bathtubs. Like, that's just what parents do.
It's a normal thing, right?
Thankfully, Google and Taylor Swift didn't think that my children were attractive enough, so thankfully they didn't do anything stupid.
But the panopticon works because let's just pretend hypothetically they were paid actors, false flags. So what it does is it causes self-censorship. So if these are the only two things that actually happened, right, and they were paid actors, Google blows that up. And let's say that's the only thing that gets reported, but it gets viral because they control the media dissemination. So it gets viral. It causes all the normal parents to say, well, I better delete these photos. It causes self-censorship. The government's not telling you to delete it. The government's not telling you it's wrong. The government's not telling you it's illegal. But because you see consequences for normal daily life living, you start putting yourself in a programmed prison, self-censorship, because you see these consequences that could happen. And if it was all paid actors, nobody actually faced any consequences. It was just there so you could believe the all-seeing eye is watching you.
Parents actually do this with their kids. They'll have their kids watch them. Like young children that can't really speak yet, they'll have their kid watch them put something into the plug in the wall, like a metal object, and they're just pretending, of course. They do that, and then they act like they're getting zapped, and they act like they die, and then the kid starts screaming. Right. So the kid knows, I never want to do that. And this even works on dogs, too. You could actually train a dog that way. Yeah. Just show this dog what happens to other dogs who don't listen, and then all of a sudden the dog's going to listen. Yeah,
I talked about that in, I can't remember what episode, but it's the Albert experiment. They actually did this back in the 20s. It is a horrible thing to think about, but back in those days, they did all kinds of psychological experiments. They took this little kid, it was only like 3, and they allowed it to play with this mouse or this. No, they actually brought a stuffed animal in there, and they allowed to play with it. It was like a bunny. And then they came in there with a face of a bunny and started making really scary noises and really looking like they're going to hurt the kid. And the kid got scared and crying, and they did this over and over and over again. And every time they did it, they would hit a bell in the back. And so then they would bring that bunny rabbit back out there, and they hit the bell, and the baby was crying. And so then they brought the same kid back again after a couple of years. And they were just talking to him, and then they would hit a bell, and the kids started getting traumatized. So they see that the impediment of these habituations, or like, this fake shock or any panoptic function.
Maybe that's why whenever I hear Taco Bell commercials, like ding, yeah, I start getting nervous.
Yeah, well, they know it's real, and they've done many studies on children, literal babies. But that's a famous one. It's called the Albert experiment. But yeah, it works. People don't think that these think tanks and the government is not paying lobbyists to figure out what really works and what doesn't.
Well, yeah, it's just a recreation of Pavlov's dogs, but
that's all in that time frame, the 20s and stuff.
And not only that, it's with humans, not animals. And secondly, it's you're being released for, you said, a few years or so, and then bringing back. And it still works. And then you just keep testing it. It's like, how long does it actually stay in your memory? Because, what if you're 45, you haven't, and they trained you like this as a baby. You don't even know. Yeah. And, hospitals could do this very easily.
Well, that's why, that GATE program, the Gifted and Talented Education Program for the Gifted and Talented Students, it's always been assumed that they were testing with those kids. As a CIA operation, they would play certain frequencies, flash lights at certain random interjections, put them in certain scenarios while playing frequencies, sounds, and lights, and testing them with all this stuff. Well, they're just thinking they're gifted and talented, but they were a part of these psychological manipulations. So it's real. And
they even made a movie about it recently. Let's see. Five Nights at Freddy's. Yeah, there's those animatronics come to life and they take kids away, and the one controlling it is the bunny. This guy wearing a scary bunny mask and a scary bunny suit.
Maybe that's what they were playing on. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just like anything. You know, a kid sees a mouse on the floor. What they do is look up to the parent. If the parent's freaking out, they have the impediment that this is bad. But if the parent doesn't freak out, the child really doesn't have any response to know this mouse is bad or dirty or something. So they're fine. But it's that learned experience. And that's why they say childhood memories become repressive memories, and they stay there because when you're a child, you don't have logic in the sense of experience. You're just reacting, and it's learned experience through reaction. And then it's just there because it's all emotional. It's just there. You don't have any reason as a child. So once that gets solidified, yeah, that's going to stay with you for a long time because there was no rationality. It's just an impediment. It's like somebody just put it in there.
Yeah.
And so then somebody has to deprogram that.
Yeah, what if all these Hawaii children returned home and they seem normal? And then, 20, 30 years later, all of a sudden you hear this massive bell on your phone or something, and all of a sudden they go buck wild.
Yeah. It's kind of like how a hypnotist works,
Mm-hmm.
These trigger words or, sounds or whatever they try to program your brain with.
Well, what's even more funny is there's a lot of really cool psychological things that Hollywood could play on, but that's the one thing of all the thousands of psychological fascinating things about us. They could make all kinds, but that's the one thing is hypnotics. Like there's how many horror movies and psychological thriller movies are made with, some psychologist or shrink or, therapist or whatever who is secretly having his patients or her patients doing things.
Well, I don't think there's anything more scary than mind control. Even when it comes to being vulnerable, like physically, you always have the idea, maybe I can have a weapon, maybe I have a gun, maybe I can have some means. At least there's a chance. But once your mind has been invaded, it's an unconscious vulnerability. You don't even know it's happening until it's too late. That's probably why they play on it. It's probably one of the largest or probably the most significant fear is this unconscious control. I'm not even thinking about it, but I am being controlled. And when you do realize it is too late because you've already been programmed, that's why you realize it. And now you're sitting there trying to say, all right, well, I'm going to not comply. I'm going to fight against it. But you've been programmed. So I understand why they play on it. It is the most vulnerable form. Because when you're talking to the therapist, you're trying to be vulnerable. You're trying to tell them all these things because you think they're going to help me. It's just like a doctor. When you hear about bad doctors or bad nurses, it's like,
actors.
Yeah, well, you're sitting there thinking, I'm trusting this person because I'm sick. And this person's supposed to actually fix me. But then they're over here secretly putting like cyanide in your, whatever. And that's when you're like, anytime you're being vulnerable and it gets manipulated, that's definitely a scary thought, and I get that. But the mind, everybody thinks they're controlling their thoughts in their mind. Everybody believes that.
No.
But it's all curated.
Unless you're living in a Faraday room.
It doesn't matter. It's all curated. You just have to, that's why it's important who you surround yourself with and what you consume, because you're being curated by something. And the people who believe that they're not, they're probably the most programmed. I mean, because that means your programming has been solidified. You're done. You actually, whatever's in your head is in there. That means there's no way to say, maybe I'm wrong. It's over. It's a scary thought.
Yeah, it is.
Back to the chats.
Ted said, and now no one can find that kid or his mom.
Thanks, Google.
I'm trying to remember what kid were we talking about specifically?
That
the CSAM one, yeah.
That or the kid that had those telepathic regurgitations you were showing on TikTok.
Oh yeah, maybe, but it didn't come true. So I mean, it's 2 days late. And
So to me,
$2
that
short.
what that seems like, because a lot of parents, they want that approval too. So they regurgitate a lot of information to their children. And then, of course, children repeat things.
Mhm.
So it's like, what do you know about that January 12th comment? And,
No, I know. She was leading the conversation. You can
Yeah.
tell. It's like, how many comments? Oh, there's 12 of them or whatever. Yeah, of course. And if that's how the kid knows to get attention from you is to be a prophet,
Mm-hmm.
then he's gonna prophesy or she's gonna prophesy, because that's how I get attention from mommy and daddy. And it's weird that parents don't know that. It's like, are you that dull? Like, the kid is actually smarter than you. You don't realize what's happening here. Yeah, it's true though. There's a lot of parents that have no clue. And it's weird to me. It's just weird. Something I picked up as soon as I was a parent. Like, oh, okay, well.
I think that's the most dangerous weaponization, is ignorant weaponization. You don't realize what you're doing, what you're programming, what you're teaching and acclimating. And so then in the future, the children is going to do the same. And they're going to become manipulators, or they're going to be highly agreeable. And they're going to be susceptible to anything. One of the two, but it's already being programmed. And so this ignorant weaponization is the most dangerous in my mind, because you don't even know you're doing it, but you are.
Yeah, ignorance is blessed.
Until it comes at you, bro.
Even when you face consequences, it's still blessed, because you're like, you don't realize that these are the consequences of your actions. It's always someone else's fault.
It still
And
hurts
so-
when you lose an arm.
Yeah, but you're a victim, so that adrenaline kicks in. It's like, oh, look at me, and you're like, freedom. These people are taking me over. I'm dying for a good cause, and really you're just dying because you got a parking ticket and you try to run over a police officer or something. But you're saying, I'm dying for freedom, and in your mind, as you're dying, you're playing this Mel Gibson scene.
Braveheart.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough.
And if you're in your own delusion, then, yeah, that's an honorable way to go. It's like, I really am Braveheart. I'm dying for real freedom. I'm going to be a martyr. People are going to build statues of me. I'm the next George Foreman and, Rodney Copperbottom. And, I'm that guy.
Yeah, that's why cognitive dissonance is so correlated. And again, it's correlation, not causation, but correlated with NPD, narcissistic personality
You're
disorder.
gonna say NPCs.
No, like everybody has a little narcissism in them, but the ones who have that actual disorder where they believe that their narcissism is actual is very correlated with cognitive dissonance. The higher level you are disassociated with your thoughts and reality, the more you actually believe the narcissism is real. Like, you can't, because you're dissident anyway from your thoughts.
Yeah, how do you bring someone like that down? Like, no matter what happens to them, they believe they're on top of the world, that they're controlling the world. I mean, they could literally be a homeless man thinking that they're controlling the world from that street corner. And there's no way you can convince them otherwise. Like, they are happy, they're blessed. And it's all perspective, of course. Like, in their mind, it's like, yeah, nothing moves until I say it moves and all that. Like, it's all, even if something uncontrollable happens to them, it's either persecution or, they're
It's
the
part
victim.
of the script.
Yeah, or they allow it to happen because they're actually in control or whatever. Or they enjoy trying to regain control. Either way, they're just living their best life.
Yeah, they usually, because they're so dissident, they start propagating a script. Like, they think, almost like the Matrix, like they think they're the one, the Neo, and some, maybe God or something put them here for this reason. And so then persecution becomes expected or desired even. They become masochistic.
Yeah, but they're not really willing to run with the Trinity like Neo.
No, they're usually isolational, but they still have that idea that in good or bad, it's designed this way because I'm that one.
You have to go to Mount Zion. You're not just there.
Mount Zion is just following the script, which is whatever you've created to believe, because you're in a delusion. You're looking at the shadows in the cave thinking that's real, and you've convinced yourself of it.
Yeah, I guess. Probably see a girl in a red dress, and you're like, oh, I see you.
Yeah, see, you'll think that that's a sign. Right. Everything's a sign at that point. I mean, this is mass delusion.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and that is dangerous.
Yeah.
That's why I say ignorance is blessed. Because as long as you remain ignorant, you are
well, it's blessed to them. It's scary to the rest of us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to Monster.
Even in Darwin's selfish gene book,
Our energy drink of this day.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. What does that guy say? Hey, feel me?
Yeah, feel me.
Feel me?
Anyways.
God bless.
Back to the cheats.
Ted says the only one sucking around here is a vacuum cleaner. Yeah.
Yeah, mine broke the other day. It's really malfunctioning. So,
my vacuum sucks.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it actually sucks, but it actually sucks too good. And it sucks so good that it's sucking up so much that it's clogging itself.
Oh, wow.
It's actually so powerful that it's sucking too much.
Wow.
And, you can't adjust that stuff. So, I mean, I kind of can, but I don't know. So, yeah, I got to figure that out. It's too powerful. Watch this.
Yeah, you don't want to destroy the goods in the process. Like, what do you, at that point.
It's going to, black hole sucks things in, but Hawking radiation is what comes out of the black hole. It's actually going to create a white hole.
Yeah, that's the inverse. Yeah. But yeah, you just have to be careful. Like,
it's actually going to swallow the universe over there.
I've never had a vacuum that sucks that hard, but I've always been careful around the merchandise. Like, you have to go gently, otherwise, you lose everything. Your
it's one of those
keys, wallet.
It's one of those robotic vacuums. So I have a program where it's 6 a.m, so it's not bothering me. But then I'll wake up and it's got it sucked everything in the planet into that thing, and I was like trying to tinker with it, trying to adjust levels, and it's like, man, this thing just automatically mass sucked power.
Yeah, I'd be really careful with that.
Yeah, well, it's on pause right now until I can figure out what to do. I didn't want to collapse the universe.
Yeah. Feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Jerry Lewis, I know our audience is too young to know who Jerry Lewis is.
Well, sure, shout out to Ted B.
And Iron Man.
And I don't know how old David Zerm is. He could be.
I think he told us before. I don't remember, though. But, yeah. If you guys are old enough to know who Jerry Lewis is, he made a movie called Who's Minding the Store a long time ago. And yeah, there's a vacuum scene in there. It's really stupid.
Oh, wow, that you're going somewhere.
Yeah. No. Well, it adds so much suction. Like, he rigs it to where it's sucking so good. It sucks everything in the store, and it actually fills up like a balloon. And obviously it's all fake, but it's supposed to be a funny movie. I mean, some things are funny. Not everybody found Jerry Lewis funny, but it's one of those deals.
Yeah, I picture your father as one of those people.
Yeah, you feel me?
Him and his dog escapades, which you'll find out this week. A colleague shares some of his personal escapades.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God bless.
David Zerm, he says around 40-ish, but he's an old soul.
Is your soul old enough to remember Jerry Lewis?
Yeah.
And while you're answering that, I'm going to press on towards the mark. Ted says, which is worse, petty or lab experiments?
Wow, that's a.
You talking about like a pedicure? Like a mani pedi type thing?
Pedophiles.
See, that's another good YouTube name.
No, not. Somebody
actually,
else can take that.
You know how you have it's spelled just like that, like petty, and then it's another word. It says files.
It's an entendre because petty can be like you're being petty, but then it's also yeah.
You can actually spell that way. Petty, petty, and then files.
Yeah.
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 I like that.
That's. Yeah.
Ooh, that's tight.
That's
ooh, boy.
That's wrong.
Ooh, that's tight. Ted says the Atlantis Casino. That's where it's all happening. Yeah. Kind of like the Philadelphia experiment happened in Philadelphia. We all know what happened with that.
Yeah.
People got
Yoked it from the playgrounds.
Yeah, they got merging with battleships and stuff. Carriers.
They got intermingled.
Yeah, like halfway in. And then he said PSYOP. And then he says the moral dilemma portion of the show.
Everything, almost every statement we say can be seen as a moral dilemma. I like those. I like quandaries.
I like morals.
That's itself his own topic.
And then he says, the feds are listening. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi. Next. He said, I wonder where the file was stored. I bet the cloud files got wiped. But I'd find it hard to believe that their hard drives are affected.
Oh, yeah, Google. No, of course they're saving everything. Stored to the cloud. You think it's deleted. Look at OneDrive. OneDrive is actually a modern malware. Some people may say it or not, but it's insane. If you have Windows 11, it automatically installs with this OneDrive. And you're not being told. We actually talk about this too. It's an automated opt-in service. We talk about it this week. It's another form of control. But you install Windows, everything's, and then there's this automatic upload of your entire computer to the OneDrive. And then you find out that all of a sudden you notice my hard drive space is really weird. Something's going on here. And you realize there's OneDrive, your computer, and there's these double files. So then you're like, oh, well, let me get rid of this OneDrive. And this has happened a lot.
And it deletes everything on your computer.
It deletes all your files off your computer. And it doesn't even give you the option, do you want to save these files? Because what they did was take all your files, and then they put it on the cloud, and they deleted it off your computer. So when you delete it off the cloud, it's all gone. And so it's a real malware, but it's an automated service. They don't give you no options. I mean, there's a way to get out of it, but it's really tedious, and you have to go through this very proprietary format to get it, get your files, get everything off, make sure nothing gets deleted. But they don't tell you none of this. There's no button. There's nothing like, are you sure you want to do this? None of that. It just does it. And so, yeah, no, the government.
I actually experienced that on a mini laptop I had years ago. And yeah, the same thing. I deleted it, and thankfully I didn't have any like important files or anything on there. But when I deleted it, I noticed everything was gone.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, wow, that's kind of stupid. And now just having any kind of Microsoft, any kind of technology, they always, like I have a phone that is always asking me if I would like to opt into their subscription, the Microsoft Word and all that. I'm like, no, I don't want to pay to use something that's free. Like, that's stupid. But hey, you get all this. You get OneDrive?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you get all this cool stuff though. And I'm like, yeah, no. I tried to use OneDrive when it was on my laptop. It's really complicated. I'm a simple guy. I like everything very organized, very simply put. And man, it was scattered everything. And I don't know why they can't just not do that. That's why I don't like Microsoft stuff. All their stupid trying to, like, Google Docs is really simple. That's what I like. But when you go to Microsoft and you try to use Microsoft just like Google Docs, everything's scattered. And yeah, there's more options. There's more customizable options, footnotes and all that stuff. There's a lot more. But they scattered everything in weird places. It's like different fonts are found in different folders. And it's like, why don't you just make it simple? Why do you have to be so stupid? Like, and I would pay for your service if it was simple, but it's not.
No, so Microsoft is moving now. Used to you could buy a license or you can buy a CD so you can reinstall Windows, but they're trying to move to a full subscription service for the operating system. So
they've already been asking me if I would like to opt into their subscription so I can have all these things on my phone.
It's not just their Office suite, but the operating system itself.
Oh.
And so eventually it's just going to be everything's subscription. You already know that. Eventually it's the best way. We can guarantee you to pay. We ain't got to worry about you keeping old operating systems. Your subscription expires. You're going to have no updates, vulnerable. They're going to do all this PSYOP to get you to resubscribe.
Well,
yeah.
We know Microsoft is listening. So yeah, you'll have a customer. I'll be a customer. Maybe I'm just weird, or maybe I'm like a lot of other Americans who would love to pay for your service if you clean it up. So clean it up, and you can have my money. My money's on the table. Just waiting for you to do something, Microsoft.
Well, that's why a lot of people buy pirated software. They were tired of all these subscriptions.
Well, not just subscriptions. Like, I don't mind paying a subscription if they're going to make it easier. They don't need to overcomplicate things that don't need to be overcomplicated. Like, everything's complicated enough. You don't need to make it more stupid complicated. Make it more simple. And it already has to be simple. I think they do this on purpose. Like, well, you lost me and everybody else, like, unless I'm unique. And I don't think I'm unique. Like, I think actually people are more simple than me nowadays. Like, I do a lot of writing. I write a lot of stuff. I've written a few books. I've written a lot of stuff. It's all just on Google Docs, though. And one of my books has over 500 pages, a lot of footnotes. I write and read a lot. So I know how to use software. And I tried to use Microsoft, and I couldn't do it. It's way too complicated. And I can train myself too. Like, I train myself on other software. It's easy to train yourself on software and get to to where you can use it. But this is arbitrarily complicated. Like, they didn't have to make it like this. And then they switch it sometimes too. They put other options over here, options over there, and constantly. And it's like, yeah, I'll pass. You can keep it. Anyway, that's my rift for the day.
There's no way around it, though. They already know. The only way to keep people in is through subscriptions. It's a guarantee, too, because you don't have physical media.
Again, I'll say, yeah, that's great. Sign me up, coach, when you fix it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to subscribe to a coach who's some drunk.
Well, at some point, that's why they're trying to fix and utilize agentic services. Because at some point, you can just use the multimodal function. You can just tell an agentic or an agent, I want you to create this. Oh, and you don't have to know anything. It's like, I want to write this book. And you just tell it what you want to do, and it's going to open everything in the format that you want it, and it's all if it's go. So they want you to get used to agentic services, so then you become even more dependent. A colleague shows us a video in this coming episode about King Charles. I'm not going to go into it, but that shows the epitome
the Prince of Wales.
Yeah, of the epitome of dependency. Because that's an agentic service, but in real life. You've depended on all these other things. You say, can you do this? Can you do that? Eventually, that makes you stupid. And so that hyper-dependency, the utilization of agentic services, AI, will cause you to lose the ability of normality. Like, you just forget how to do anything because you just depended on these agentic services.
It actually takes your free will. Like, and willingly, it's like, oh, I don't want to choose which pajamas to wear,
But you don't have to.
I know.
It's already been programmed.
That's great.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, David Zerm says, I stopped using Adobe because of that whole thing. Yeah, and that's an expensive subscription too. Adobe, that is expensive. And they have a massive suite. And if you want to utilize multiple services, like if you use Illustrator, and then you want to use Photoshop, and then you've used Premiere, and then you want to connect that with Media Encoder, because you want to use the encoders that you want to change the encoding of your videos. Now you have to buy all these things to interconnect. Then you want to use After Effects, and they have the ability to connect each service so it's fast to, if I edit on Premiere, then I can drop that over to After Effects and After Effects. So it's all connected, so it works smooth. But you got to buy subscriptions to every one of those, and it's expensive, and it's a gimmick.
Yeah. I have Adobe Acrobat. I don't know if I'm pretty sure it's the same.
Well, you can get that for free, but they have a paid version of that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I use it for free. I've even used their PDF scanner for free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you want to do more, of course, they have you pay for it. But I think that's cool. Microsoft, though, is a real gimmick. It's almost like iPhone. They don't let you use any of their services unless you pay for their subscription. I'm like, oh, I ain't doing it. So,
well, if you have the whole iPhone ecosystem, they got you locked in, because now you've already invested in thousands of dollars of equipment. What are you going to do? Start going to Android or Google? You've already bought the Mac, the MacBooks, the Mac, all this ecosystem. It's like, yeah, I'm kind of locked in, but I ain't trying to buy all new equipment, so you're stuck. I think Ted B says he's in the lobby. Can you hear us? I don't see your picture.
Can you hear us out there?
Can you hear us, Ted B?
We don't hear you. You can hear us.
Can you hear us, Mr. Ted B? I don't see you, nor do I hear you.
Blink twice if you can't hear us.
Yeah, because I already put you into the live, but I don't see your picture on our system, nor do I hear you. Maybe try going out and coming back in. We'll try it again, but I don't hear anything. Well, that's trying to get reallocated.
Okay, let's see. Ted says Five Nights at Freddy's were possessed robots like some citizens. Yeah. Isn't awareness defense against programming? Yep. I have to agree with that too.
Well, they can be weaponized too. Like they can tell you. Just depends how far they go down the loop, right? If they tell you, like they can use. I'm not saying Alex Jones is bought out. He probably is, but I'm saying so they get somebody like that to be on your side, but then they're a paid actor, and now you're listening to propaganda and you don't even know it. So it just depends on how far down this chain you go down. But yeah, once somebody gets famous, well, there's financial motivations, and then at some point you don't really know if it's legit anymore. But you're going to continue believing because they have a reputation.
Mm-hmm. Feel me?
I feel you.
David Zerm says around 40-ish, but we read that. He said, I always get Bob Hope and Jerry Lewis mixed up. They look the same.
Bob Hope?
I don't know. Bob Hope had more of like he had like a pointy nose. It's kind of weird. From the side, it's kind of like pointy, and then his forehead was kind of rounded. And his hairline was receded a little more. I don't really see them as looking too similar, but you know, I haven't seen Bob Hope or Jerry Lewis in a long time. I feel like Jerry Lewis actually looked like a member of my family, though, some long lost cousin or something. But again, I haven't seen him or Bob Hope since I was a kid, and it was always black and white. I had no business watching that junk anyway. Oops. Oh yeah, this guy actually looks like one of my brothers. Like he actually looks like my dad, but without a beard. Let's see if I can put this on the axe over here. There we go. So here's Jerry Lewis, for those of you that don't know. There's your daddy. This guy. And I'll look up Bob Hope. Oh, yeah. And kablam. Yeah, see, I mean, they kind of look the same just because they're both black and white photos, but, and when this guy turns sideways, his nose is really pointy. He's got one of those pointy noses, and he's got, like, he's got those flared out nostrils and a receding hairline. I don't know whatever happened to that guy, but if that's him, that's scary. Wow. Well, wouldn't you know it? Looks like some celebrities do age.
Try it again, Mr. Ted B. I put a new link in there. Yeah. Isn't Bob Hope that comedian that was at Vietnam? I don't know.
I don't know either. You know, it's weird. I don't remember any of his movies or Jerry Lewis's movies except for that one, the Who's Minding the Store. But I've seen a lot of their movies. You know, Laurel and Hardy was another one. They were funny.
Something is happening, Mr. Ted B. Some reason it is not propagating your video. And I don't know why. I don't see your picture, and I can't hear you. Can you hear us? Mr. Ted B? Yeah, see, I'm not getting any feed.
Can you type to him in Braille so he can feel it?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening.
Hang in there, Ted. Help is on the way.
Maybe.
Well, you don't tell him that.
Yeah, this is it's a little interesting.
Keep hope alive.
Ted is on the OneDrive. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on right now with that. He's on the Two Foods. Oh, yeah. That was the guy, like, colleague shows a new guy. Remember how I showed a guy that was eating and he had, like, oh, today we got 2 foods over here at the shelter. You got a new guy who's doing that.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, the guy was eating all the syrup.
The guy you showed?
I was showing the guy who was eating all day. He's like, every day we eat good.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that guy.
Let me try one more time, Mr. Ted B. I'll use a different browser and see if that fixes anything. That's very interesting. It's the first time I had this problem going on.
Just stay strong, Ted.
Yeah.
This isn't any time to panic. Everything's fine. There's nothing to worry about.
Everything will be okay.
Yep. David Zerm says, I need to back up my computer. There is an option on the bottom right, OneDrive button, to stop it from backing up. Yeah. Well, you should tell that thing to stop backing up.
Try that link, Mr. Ted B. Let's see if it works this time. Well, that's very interesting.
Also, Ted said he used to do the USO shows for the military.
USO shows. I'm not familiar with that. Are you?
Or maybe that's supposed to be USA instead of USO.
Yeah, USO.
United States Operatives.
Or officer. That sounds familiar.
Oh, my USO's in LA.
No, it sounds like something my dad would have said. That does sound familiar, though, in a weird way.
USO.
The USO shows. Sounds like one of those. Yeah, look at that.
Oh, yeah, look, it is USO. Bob Hope, USO.
It doesn't matter. I think something's going on your side, Mr. Ted B, because even on this, change browsers, change the codec, and I am not getting any feed whatsoever from you, Mr. Ted B. No audio, no video, nothing. Man, that is really strange.
Another fun fact for anybody who cares.
Jeremy Hannaberry. No, you don't have to have headphones. You can use your phone. I guess you'll be able to. Maybe you might have feedback. If you have feedback, then you might need headphones. But you can try without. You can try using your phone. Anybody can use their phone. You click on that link, and you'll get connected into our little inner channel here, and I can put you on. All right, Ted B.
You want me to try a link on my side?
I guess I didn't think about it. I'll try it on my side real quick too. But
Bob Hope lived to 100 years old. He was born in 1903. And then he died in 2003. The guy lived an entire century.
wow.
But 1903, that guy, you know how much progress he saw in 100 years? I hear someone.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh.
Yeah, so it does work. Let me get out of here.
Man, 100 years, 1903. Imagine saying, yeah, I wasn't born in the 50s. I was actually born in 1903. It's like, man, you belong in a museum.
Yeah, I think my grandpa was born in 1918.
Yeah, this guy was born in 1903.
Wow.
And he lived all the way to 2003. So he saw it all. He saw the first production vehicles. He saw...
Oh, that joker lived 100 years.
Yeah, he saw the first television. He saw our cell phones. He saw everything.
Man, what a breakdown to think about how much...
Oh, no, hold on. Cell phones didn't come out till 2008. But MP3
No,
players
he
out,
had
right?
cell phones. He just didn't get the smartphone.
Yeah.
But think about the transference. Like, you started out where airplanes was like the Wright brothers, and then you get to see the Titanic. You get to see actually modern airplanes. You see all the world wars.
Oh, yeah.
You see Vietnam. Then you're even living to Desert Storm in the 90s. You're watching the involvement of computers. I mean, you start where you're almost at carriages and buggies all the way to computers. What a transfer of experience.
That's what I'm saying. In 1903. That's weird.
Yeah, I don't know. That's abstract.
Yeah, imagine if he was actually in our chat. If Bob Hope was in our chat, it's like, I was born in 1903. It's like, wow, you could tell us all kinds of things. I mean, that guy lived to see. He saw the moon landing. He saw it all.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Do me?
Oh, there's Miss. Oh, you were there. We just saw you just a second, Mr. Ted B. So whatever you did, it worked for a second. Don't see you anymore. Oh, there you are. All right. There you are. Give me 1 second. I'll plug you in.
We see you and hear you.
All right.
I think a bomb just went off outside.
Do you hear us?
We hear you.
We hear you. Do you see us? Do you hear us? Wow, that's weird. I can see him. Can you see us? Can you hear us? We hear you now. What is going on?
We see you.
Yeah, we see you. All right. Man, this is really weird.
Maybe you can put him on the screen, and then he can see that we see him. We hear you. We hear and see you.
See, everybody can see him. Do you hear us? Do you see us?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear us?
If I knew sign language.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us now?
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Yes, we
okay,
can hear
finally.
All
My
right.
goodness. It's the universe conspiring against us.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
what that was all about.
Well, thankfully I None of us know sign language, so it wouldn't have helped anyway.
Yeah, it was very clear what you were communicating to me, colleague, just so you know. I knew exactly what was going on.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we could hear you, but you couldn't hear us, and we could see and hear you. But yeah.
Yeah, I had to change. I don't know what actually happened. Did you have to change some settings?
No.
No.
Everything was the same as it is every week, so I don't know what was going on. You know what? I'm sorry. I did turn off my VPN, although normally I don't have to do that. It works fine, but I turned it off, and it appears as though connected with you guys. So who knows?
Uh-oh.
So now I have no VPN. Now they're going to know where I am.
Now they know.
I'm in Greenland, I admit.
It's over. Oh, we got
Hey.
Mr. Hannaberry here.
Hello there.
Oh, look who it is.
Hold on 1 second, I'll post you in. All right. At least everything's working now. That's good. All right. And there you are. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
I made it.
Now, we want a good, clean
Welcome
fight.
back.
No low blows. No breaking the rules. But
No
blood is
breaking a hip.
allowed. Well, we young guys don't have to worry about that.
All right. So now that everything on that side is fixed, what's on your guys' mind? What do you guys want to talk about?
Well, go ahead, sir. You can start. I'm going to get my thoughts together because I was just had a senior moment with all that technical difficulty.
So, I got something. This is kind of interesting. I was with one of my friends the other night, and I don't really use the AI stuff much, or Gemini or Grok or any of those. And the one she was using was, I guess it was Grok, and I started talking about things like the Book of Revelations and corruption and stuff like that, and eventually this thing had told me I was on a kill list, and I kind of laughed, but
Wait,
it was just
who told you that?
interesting.
You're saying this?
Her AI, I think that she was using was Grok,
and it said Jeremiah Henneberry is on a kill list.
So hers, it was through her phone, and her name's Danielle, but she goes by D for short, so it replies to her, and I asked it how advanced it was with voice recognition.
1 second, I'll be right back. Keep talking. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
It said that it didn't have the capability to be able to tell all these different voices, which was obviously true, because it thought I was her that was speaking into it through her phone, and it kept saying D. It's like, well, D, da 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 da, and I was like, I am not D, and she's like, well, who the hell are you then? And and it was kind of interesting, but yeah, I started talking about, I don't know, corruption in the government, and talking about the Book of Revelations and stuff like that, and yeah, it was weird because it told me that I was on a kill list by the global elites and the reptilians, and it started bringing up all kinds of things. It started talking about reptilians, and it said something about the underground bunker that's underneath the Denver airport, which I don't know if you've looked up stuff like that, but in the
That's
Denver
where we're
airport, we got a
at.
bunch of weird pictures on the wall and stuff like that, and
Yeah.
like apocalyptic pictures, and just and it started bringing some of this stuff up. And
do you have resources to survive this kill list? Like, do you have the resources? Do you have the protection?
Well,
Do they know where you live? Do they know who your wife and kids are?
I don't really care if they do or not, to be honest.
You don't care if they
as
kill
far
your
as the
wife and
resources
children?
go, well, I mean, I do, but you know what I mean? Like, there's some things in life that are just out of our hands regardless. And so
What if they take your dog?
If it happens, it happens. If it don't. Well, then they're gonna probably want to give him back because he's got a pretty tough job. So, but
You gonna
but
go
yeah,
John
I don't
Wick
know,
on
it was
him?
just interesting. It started bringing up. Yeah, I'm gonna go John Wick. But it was just interesting because it started bringing up all these different things. Like I didn't mention anything about reptilians or anything like that. And Grok is the one that actually brought up the reptilians and the underground bunker underneath the Denver airport. And what else did it talk about? Yeah, how I was on a kill list, but I was also going to be one of the people that changed the world. And I don't know. Yeah, it brought up all kinds of stuff. And so I thought it was strange. I don't know. I thought it was strange.
Well, it looks like if you survive, you're going to change the world. So there you go. You just have to avoid the elite kill squads. And we got it made.
Yeah, well, you know about the GMOs and the food and the chemtrails, and I mean, I made it this far. So it's like
Yeah, but
take it one day at a time, and
you've only made it this far because, I mean, let's be honest. You've been out in the wilderness, living off of wild locusts and honey. And if you ever come back though to like the States and you come back to civilization though, that's when they're gonna know right where to get you.
well, I haven't started growing my own crops yet, so at this point I still got to go to the grocery store. So I mean,
Well, they're going to get you using LoRa technology. They'll be able to find you in the woods 40 miles deep.
So you go 41 miles deep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Always go the extra mile.
Mm-hmm. Or two.
Right.
You don't think it's the well, like we talk about in this week's episode again, panopticon is probably one of the most powerful forms of self-censorship and self-restriction. When you believe the government is watching everything and the government sees everything, your brain it creates a defensive mechanism by default. We all do it. If you know somebody's watching you or somebody's invasive, you try to build some barriers. Your idea of isolation may actually be the objective that the government wants, and they push out this narrative by saying, we watch you. So then you put on a defense mechanism to say, I'm going to try to find a way that the government won't watch me. But that's actually pushing you or nudging, or they would call nudge units. They're nudging you in a direction. And if everybody does the same thing, then all of you guys are going to be collectively doing the same thing, which if you're isolated out in the woods, that's really easy to, we'll just say, abrogate or get rid of people because they're out in the middle of nowhere, out of public. Because if you're in a big city, it's kind of like what happens with Hamas. They hide inside hospitals. They hide inside big public areas. So you don't want to bomb that because innocent people die. So you hide where the public is. But if you go way off in an isolation area, well, they can bomb that and they'll be like, well, that's low cost. We're just going to get rid of those people.
So, Jeremiah, do you have a plan to stay alive right now?
Yeah.
This sounds pretty serious.
I think I'm just going to keep eating, drinking, trying to be merry. I don't know, maybe blend in. Try to blend in,
So you're just going to lie down and take it.
Like a real man.
Well, if I blend in well enough, they're not going to know who I am. So,
wait, you're cutting out. What were you saying?
How do you know which who from Whoville is who?
Well, we can discuss that later
Matrix.
See, the
Doesn't
government's
matter,
trying to
'cause you're-
block them already. They're trying
You're
to
the
block his
who that
signal.
they want to get.
I can't. I'm in a live video.
Well,
That's what I said when you're done.
All right.
oh, they got him.
They got him.
There it is. Yeah,
They almost got me.
that was quick.
Almost got me.
I got something for that.
Had to hide.
Yeah, host has something for you. He has a surprise. He's got a package for you.
It's not ACLO. It's not set up for this.
He's sending it via Amazon drone. They're gonna play that at your funeral.
Oh man. Well,
Ted, do you have anything to say on the matter?
congrats.
Well, I got one more thing
They
to
earned
remind
it.
everybody. One more thing.
You're welcome.
Are you feeling okay, host?
You know, we when that old show that got eliminated. You know, there used to be a lot more times of freedoms, but we don't have those luxuries anymore. So
We used to be happy.
yeah, we used to have a lot of nice interjections, but we have to be more careful nowadays.
The cultist tempest. So that could be the code. That could be the code word for, because tempest is Latin for time and cultist is Latin for toilet. So
Oh,
cultist tempest. There you go.
wow.
Yeah, but you know who knows Latin better than all of us? Look on the back of the dollar.
It's an all-seeing
But you
eye.
know who knows toilets better than all of us?
Yeah, I do.
Luigi.
Beavis.
Oh,
Beavis.
I think the pyramid is upside down, though, just like the food pyramid.
Yeah, it's inverted.
If you guys have seen that South Park episode, the guy was like, wait, it's upside down. And that's actually what's that Kennedy guy? The old guy who's got like an 8-pack?
Oh, John F. Kennedy?
About
Yeah, that
John
guy.
Yeah. R.F. Kennedy.
Junior. Yeah. RFK.
R.F. Kennedy. He's like, it's actually upside down, talking about the food pyramid. Like, no. The cockroach is going the top, not the bottom. It's like, okay, wow.
Well, I think that's always the strongest psyop is an inversion. Totalitarianism is just the exposure. Like, here's a gun. You're going to do what I say because I point this gun at you. But like I talked about before, inverted totalitarianism is the structure control or the psyop. You're going to do what I say and I'm controlling you, but you're going to believe it's your choice. You're free. But it's illusion. It's the illusion of choice. It's an inverted totalitarianism.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime you invert something, I think that's probably the most weaponized form of something.
Yeah.
Because the front side is what everybody's natural to. Everybody's accustomed to.
Innies and outies.
So what would happen if you took the blue and the red pill at the same time?
You get the green pill.
I don't think that's how it works. I think it turned purple.
I think it's the purple.
I was gonna
Yeah,
say
to be the
purple. I think
purple
it's
pill.
purple.
Hey, maybe I'm just colorblind.
Maybe they want you to believe it's purple.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah, thankfully, Neo wasn't colorblind. And maybe he just guessed. He's like, take this one.
Yeah, maybe it was just NyQuil and DayQuil.
That could have
Isn't
been.
the purple pill for like heartburn?
I think that's for erectile
I don't know. I think it's for
dysfunction.
the royal priesthood.
That's the blue
they're over
one.
there taking purple.
Again, Ted, it's over our head. We're not old enough to know stuff like that.
I think you might be confusing it with promethazine.
You know, I actually
like that's the
found one
purple
recently.
drink.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Absurd.
I'm not really
There's
sure
some
what it
battle
is.
going on the
It's almost like
outsides.
a black pill.
Never
No,
take the
those-
black pill.
Unless it's
Either-
activated
it's-
charcoal.
Could be one of those Harry Potter jelly beans. Who knows?
Do you guys ever watch X-Files, man? Don't take the
Oh,
black
yeah.
pill. Don't take the black pill.
Mulder and Scully.
Yeah, it's got that weird ink alien thing in it or whatever. Takes you over.
Well, I got about 20 of them sitting here, so I don't know what to do with them.
20 aliens or 20 pills?
20 pills. Let's hope they're not aliens.
They're black pills?
They're like
Is that mom's spaghetti?
They're either severely purple or they're black.
Yeah, I advise you to not take that.
Well, they might be black mambas. No pills.
Yeah, I'm glad you
I don't know.
clarified
They're not
that.
in a container. They're just sitting by the window still. So
who gave them to you?
Maybe through the window. Maybe through the window is actually the way you get into Narnia. Maybe that's the exit out of the Matrix.
Yeah, that's whoever your supplier is probably told you that. But I'm trying to figure out who did you get those
I didn't go
from?
get a prescription. They're just chilling here. I mean,
well,
who
without
knows who lived in this room last?
Okay, look, without snitching, okay, tell us the name of who gave those pills to you.
Maybe they just grew like
This is
jelly
live.
beans, man. Like I don't know.
You holding
I'm
those
not
pills
really
for a
sure.
friend, are you?
Maybe they're all natural.
Yeah, all natural.
I guess everything at some point's natural.
Yeah. Were they grown in California naturally?
Well, nothing's artificial.
Except intelligence.
You sound a little hungry there, host.
I'm a little hungry.
I could save you a couple of these pills. You try them out.
No, I'm not that kind. I'm hungry for data.
No, that sounds like AI.
Delicious data.
Oh, no! If you could put data on a plate and that matrix steak on the plate, depending on what kind of sauce you got for that data, I might go with data.
Well, that steak was data, so and he was enjoying it in the Matrix.
They put you in an induced coma. They put a feeding tube in you, and they stimulate your brain. To you, it's going to be a nice, delicious steak.
Oh, David Zerm says you should ask Grok what to do, Jeremiah. To stay alive.
Maybe I should.
Do you trust Elon? He just signed a contract with, we're going to use a proper phrase here that they want us to use because we don't want to get banned. Department of War, they just signed a contract together, and they decided that they're going to now connect Grok and XAI's database with the Pentagon. So are you sure that you're getting fed the right information?
You're getting fed what they want you to hear.
They're gonna, or they already have.
They already have.
The difference between Grok and okay. So, well, if that's what they want me to hear, and they're really on because they have a different agenda, then maybe I'm not really on a kill list. Maybe it's just the propaganda for fear.
Well, it probably is. But then we're all kind of propagandized to be in a fear state.
I mean, I guess we
Keep
can
afraid.
ask.
I fear no beer.
Well, I guess, yeah. You got a keg. There's nothing to be afraid of, right?
Except for maybe White Claw. It's a little womanish for my taste.
Well, anything else on the tabloids?
Well, just going back through the chat a little bit because I was trying desperately to type as you guys were making points, and I was trying to make some give you some answers. But USO, just so you know, Bob Hope was really big with the USO, and it's the United Service Organizations, and they used to basically go to military bases and put on shows, and they would take like cheerleaders and things with them, to give the guys a little bit of a treat. And he did it over in Vietnam. He would go over in Vietnam. So, yeah, he was famous for that.
Yeah, boosting the morale.
I'm pretty sure the USO still exists.
Oh, I'm sure.
pretty sure.
It sounds familiar. It sounds like something my dad would have talked about. That's
Yeah.
but
I pulled it up right here.
Popular back in the 60s before any of you existed.
Bob Hope, USO show.
Whoa. This looks like those videos I show this week.
Yeah.
That looks like Ernie Kovacs? I'm not sure.
I don't know who Ernie Kovacs is.
You guys are not going to know who Ernie Kovacs is.
That looks like Aaron Rodgers.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody that happy in a hospital bed before.
Well, his name is Bob Hope.
Yeah, this guy. Look at that schnoz.
They were probably pumping him full of happy chemicals. Smile for the picture.
That was easy.
Quickly. Up that dosage.
Chris Humble says to use Vaseline.
Done. Oh, also, Jeremiah, I did a quick search real quick. I think this might help you in your survival. It might actually put your heart at ease.
What's this say?
I asked Google AI, if you're on a kill list. I'm hoping I spelled the name right, your last name. It says there is no credible public evidence or record indicating that Jeremiah Henneberry is on a kill list. So,
well, maybe they don't want to put it public because they'll get caught for killing me.
Yeah. Shoot.
Well, if you don't show up next week, at least in the chats, then we'll know.
Everybody getting sucked into that black hole, just like that kid and his mom.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never killed anybody, but I'd imagine if I did, I'd probably want to cover my tracks and not make it public record.
Well, it depends. Depends on the situation. If you happen to be in a prison and you're being accused of pedophilia, then actually you could be killed and everyone will think it's suicide.
There you go.
The thing about prison is, when you go to prison,
just saying,
you have to have your paperwork checked.
Not that that's
your
happened.
Paperwork has to be checked and verified.
But it could.
And so, I mean, usually when you go to prison, the sex offender.
Oh, anyway, the other thing you guys were mentioning is Microsoft versus Apple, like in corporate offices and such. 70%. Microsoft is in 70% of corporate offices, and I think Apple's around 25.
Yeah, I think the corporate setting, that's probably right. Because I've noticed a lot of corporations, they utilize Microsoft Teams.
Yeah. And of course, Office, which has Word in it. The other thing I wanted to mention, see, my thoughts are coming back to me now. You can use older versions of software before they started the subscription crap. So if you can find it somewhere, and the discs are out there, you just have to also find a CD-ROM reader, because most new computers don't come with them. But you can get them on eBay, get them cheap. You can get them on Amazon cheap, and then you just find the old software and just load it into your computer and use it without connecting to the network. The other thing is look for open source software as well, which is really cool. There's a lot of really good open source out there. Office, there's a thing is called Open Office. It's completely free and it's not connected to anything, and it's got the word processor and it's got spreadsheets, and so look for open source software. It's great, and older versions.
Yeah,
would that work on a Windows 95?
Yeah, I was going to say my favorite operating system was Windows 98 Second Edition.
I was going to say if you have an older computer, that's even better because your operating system is out of date, which means Microsoft they don't even care. They're not producing any security updates. So they don't care. You're better off running an older version.
I mean, I was a really big fan of AOL dial-up.
Wow.
Were you?
Yeah.
They only recently they shut it down. Who would have thought it made it this long until last year, right?
It makes you wonder why they shut it down.
Just so you guys know, I'm getting ready.
Oh, wow.
Well, there it is.
Wow.
Yeah, I feel you, brother.
See, that's where it is. You could actually call the moon with that kind of phone right there.
It's got to be red, though.
That's where it is.
The Matrix can call me now, and I can get out.
Yeah.
That's true.
You know, I've been thinking kind of on the same level. I got these 2 green bean cans with a string through them.
There you go.
Nothing like playing the old get fiddle while you make a call, you know?
Direct line to the White House.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I'm on the other side of the spectrum. I got LoRa devices, so I don't have to depend on the infrastructure, so I can still be connected with people. But that's on the other side of the spectrum, which anybody can buy. You can buy LoRa devices on Amazon.
I have a couple radios, but like handheld ham radios.
Yeah, and you can hack those, even though it's illegal, and so I don't advise it, but you can hack those.
Can't hack a crystal radio.
Crystal power.
You know,
really old school.
they used to have a pretty hard time hacking those AT&T payphones where you could get 20 minutes for $1 for 99 cents.
Who's got payphones still?
Oh, I'm still. How I'm actually talking to you guys right now is through a crystal radio. You guys don't even know what kind of power I'm on.
It's like there's like this invisible divide between me and colleague. You can't see it, but on that side it's all crystal radio, and on this side we don't even know what it is.
Yeah, it's straight Napoleon Dynamite over here. We got crystals and that stuff, and it's like, you know, it's like kill the power.
Today's episode of Crystal Meth Radio.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about that kind of crystal.
No, it's those crystals. I saw it on TikTok. It went viral. There's these people that all they do, their whole business is selling these rocks, and they're expensive. Like some of them go for like thousands of bucks, and they're just these really ornate crystals. And it's like, this one will really help you if you have sleeping problems. This one will really help you if you have a lot of stress. And you just hold it, and the energy from the crystal is going to really help you. And it's like, people are buying this stuff.
Yeah. I know Jeremiah was talking about in the comments how he had a lot of experience selling rocks.
Do you sell crystal?
Crystal balls or balls of crystal?
Rocks.
Got to get off the rock, man.
Do they call you Dr. Roxo? Is
Yeah. It's been a rocky road.
Can be.
Shout out to ice cream, by the way.
Like marshmallows?
Yeah, Baskin Robbins.
Today's sponsor, Baskin Robbins.
You're into that Pepto Pecan?
Does that sound like something you'd be interested in?
Love it.
Well, what are you selling, Ted?
Since we're in the market.
I didn't catch what you said. I'm sorry, colleague. What'd you say?
Oh, I said, what are you selling for us today?
Oh, what am I selling? Oh, well, I have a couple old computers here off the network.
You have any floppy disks?
That's a rather personal question. But,
if it's very floppy, I got these black pills that might harden it up.
I just want to check: is that the 5-inch or the 8-inch?
It's the 5.25 inch.
Yeah, we're talking about the hard drive.
Ooh. We're talking about torque and horsepower.
Those other floppies were 3.5s. They're, yeah.
Yeah, so, size does matter if you want to hold a lot more data.
That's true.
Yeah, but those smaller ones actually held more than the bigger ones.
Yeah.
And they didn't bend when you try to put it in either.
I think they hold like 1.44 megabytes.
I think that was the biggest fear everybody has is like the snapping. You're trying to put it in, it bends too much, and it just snaps.
I've had some. I can't say it with a straight face. I'm sorry.
It's okay. Take your time.
You see, you're falling into the trap that colleague falls into all the time. It's trying to hold character.
Yeah, trying to say these things seriously. Oh.
So tell us how.
I got this old school equipment right here.
Whoa.
Well, what is that? That's
a tube.
That's Chronovision.
This is a weather channel storm tracker
with a crank on it.
And let's see here.
Man, this guy's pulling out the goods.
China though, I never really trusted China.
I don't know what else he's got back there.
China.
I got a V-hold, whatever that means. I got brightness contrast. It's got an alarm lock, not an alarm clock. An alert on. It's got TV, AM, FM weather, TV, radio, different channels.
AM and FM.
Can it catch the game?
It's got an earphone plug, a VHF.
I think they discontinued analog signal, about a decade ago.
I think it's got UFC.
Is it black and white? Does it have color? Can you watch?
I haven't plugged it in yet. I don't know.
UFC, you could watch the wrestling matches, right?
You get UHF.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Stone Cold said so.
Wow.
Man, I thought we were in the shelter. That guy is in like the ultimate, like he's releasing everything in his this fortress.
Yeah, he's actually watching us right now on one of his crank.
Is your
TV
phone
tubes.
crank?
Is it a tube phone?
He's talking to the ops.
Oh yeah.
Was
that your dog?
I have no idea. I got
the CIA
right here. I got the saddest one in history. Hey, Athena.
See?
This is Athena. She's the one that I'm going to use to make the commercials, like with the sad dogs that are sitting out in the rain that they want you to donate to.
Oh, her pretty girl.
And
it looks like it's got herpes on its mouth.
And then I got this handsome guy right here. This mug.
Yeah, we're just getting the family preview.
Got a head the size of mine.
Yeah, can you pan around to more of your estate
and show us the CIA?
We'd like to see where you're living.
This is the CIA room. Let's see. It's got a closet, a hamper. I don't know. My daily bread, a Bible, some clothes, some old Roy dog food.
And this feels like one of these like house
of
reveals.
Jailhouse totes. Welcome to MTV Cribs. This is my spot. I'm kind of missing out on some lighting right here.
Electric City.
Yeah, Electric City. Good thing for lamps. I'm back in the Stone Age, so.
Is that your pipe in the background? Or are you holding that for a friend?
What's that?
Nothing. You were saying?
They give those for free at vending machines in New York.
Was that your syringe in the back, or are you holding it for a friend?
I'm holding it for a friend. Here's my section of pills that God knows what they are.
Joe, we got him.
I think there's a fingernail in there. Shout out to serial killers.
Hey, Jeremy, you're giving the feds the entire layout of your place there. They're going to know exactly where to come in, man.
Yeah, can we get a street view?
Well,
this is live.
For it. And my reason is the same as theirs. They propagate something so that you go and you do this, so they get you where they want you. I'm pulling the same thing on them.
Nice.
It looks like you're actually. It looks like you're actually in that new ballroom that Trump is making right now. Like, are you actually
Not the
living
fold,
at
this
the
is
White
it.
House?
There's
Hasn't
not
been
a
quite
fold in there, man.
completed yet. Yeah, this is well, welcome to MTV Cribs. On this episode, we're gonna do an edition of Trailer Park Boys.
Can you go outside and show us your street
Welcome
sign?
to the mansion, guys.
And don't forget to flash your
Well,
house
no, that's
number.
a ways down the dirt road. We don't have actual streets, so so I'm literally off grid right now. As you
Who
can
created
tell by the
that?
wonderful electric job on my ceiling.
Who created that dirt road?
What's that? Oh, I imagine when God created the earth, it was probably been around since then, and nobody's
The
touched
dirt
it since.
road.
I mean,
I was thinking the settlers, but
this is,
you know.
Is God paying you taxes?
this is the land of milk and honey, in case you don't know.
I was gonna say, it'd be perfect if the CIA decided to plot out some dirt roads, and then just have the illusion that this is an open ground, and then you live out there and you think that this is obscured, but it was already plotted for people who wanted to live in obscure areas.
Host, are you able to sleep at night?
Not really.
Well, Oregon Bro's coming in, and I gotta leave. Unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
Where are you going? Oh, never mind. You don't have to disclose that information.
Yeah, there's a restaurant in Greenland that I want to try. So,
of course,
All right.
of course,
of course. Well, appreciate you tuning in.
there's a McDonald's. So I know certain presidents like McDonald's food. So I'm gonna go to McDonald's in Greenland and hang out.
All right. Well,
China.
Well,
All right, guys.
I appreciate
Catch everybody
it.
later.
the
Take
food
care.
preserves well out there.
All right, Oregon Bro. I'm gonna post you in. Give me a second.
Oh man, my shoulders hurt. Now I gotta pee real quick. I'm gonna use the little boys' room. I'll be right back.
All right, you
Just
are
go,
in,
man.
Mr.
Just
Oregon Bro. How you doing?
Oh, hey, I'm pretty good.
Jeremiah,
Good,
this is
man.
Oregon Bro.
Good, I'm-
Oregon Bro, this is Jeremiah.
Gonna be moving soon. Not to Greenland, just to a different town.
Oh, okay. Is that in Oregon?
Yeah,
Oregon
it's gonna
Bro?
be- I think I have on Do Not Disturb. My bad, guys. Okay. Let's see. The audio
What part of Oregon are you able to
I can't hear
disclose
you.
that
Hold on.
information?
default would be. Okay, there we go. All right.
So, are
I hear
you
you
going
guys.
to be moving in Oregon Bro?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Yes, I'm moving to the capital.
What's the capital of Oregon?
Salem.
Salem.
Oh,
Yeah.
I used to
excellent.
live there.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Stay away from the
it's-
mission downtown. Stay away from the park by
Yeah.
the mission downtown, man. I'm telling you what, the bridge. You've never
Yeah, I
seen anything
know.
like it.
I've driven through. I drive through there sometimes, and I drove through there recently. And yeah, same old thing, different day. Tweakers, people that are lost. And
Well,
yeah.
what's on your mind,
You
Mr.
know,
Oregon
kids
Bro?
skating, and then just kids skating at the skate park while they're shooting up heroin. It's great.
Well, what's on your
Yep.
mind?
Oh yeah. Shoot. Well, I guess a couple things have been on my mind. One is I don't know if this is like 100% true or not, but there's been a lot of talk in the past few years, more like in the last like 10 years, about a lot of the Chinese military males, a lot of military Chinese but they're coming to the United States, and there's like some high-ranking Chinese military guy who has some property and
Your audio is a little low, Mr. Oregon Bro.
hello.
Mhm.
It's
Oh, okay.
scratchy.
Scratchy. Oh, okay. My bad, guys. Hold on.
The itchy and scratchy show.
Okay. Is this better?
It's a little better.
A little better.
Wow, we got that zoom in.
I don't know why. Here, there you go. Okay, let me turn this off. I had a rock temper going in the background. My bad. Okay, that's probably much better. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. We can hear you. It's just a little low.
Why is it low? I don't know. I'm not sure why it's low.
Maybe the mic's not active.
Maybe. Here, let me go to the settings. Okay. No.
Oh, I can hear you now.
Good.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, I just had to readjust the setting. All right. Hey. Yeah, no, so the last 10 years there's Chinese, I don't know if this is true 100%, but apparently there's Chinese military that we're doing training between the Mexican border and the American border like for like 2 years. This is a lot. This is probably during, I think, the Biden administration. And yeah, no, some guy was talking about this who was working with Border Patrol. He's like, this is very concerning.
It's really quiet again.
Doing military exercises at the southern border. Oh,
I think you have to.
I don't know.
You might have to put it. You might have to actually keep it right next to your mouth.
Okay, how about that?
No, we still can't hear it.
Yeah, I think your mic's deactivated because you can't even hear that.
It might be.
Okay. I don't know why. It's like I can hear you guys.
Well, there's times it gets loud, and then all of a sudden it just goes quiet. We see your lips moving, but we can't hear anything you're saying.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We can't hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh wait, hold on. We heard you that time.
I can hear him. Okay, what about now? Yeah? Okay. One's in the chat if you can hear me.
There's a delay.
Yeah, but
there's a little delay.
It's really low. We got Jeremiah over there in the background, just dancing away.
Potatoes, man.
You know how rude that is to hit somebody. Don't hit me. I'm gonna go put. You wanna go to timeout?
But there is a way out.
Okay.
You have to recognize the blueprints. You have to realize that convenience is the bait. Every time you take the default path, you are letting them tighten the bolts to the cage. We have to opt out before the option is removed entirely.
That's so poetic.
What about now?
It's a little better.
That was beautiful. That's a little better.
I think it's actually just trying to pick up the mic from the phone.
Yeah, I don't know if that mic that you're holding is actually working at all.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, man. Okay. Cool. Okay. Is it scratchy again?
It's just really low, and it sounds like you're far away.
I'm right here. Hey.
Now we can hear that.
I've been able to hear him fine.
I don't know.
Over there cooking something.
But I mean, I have ears like a snake. So,
Ted, you're gonna, or not Ted. What's your name? I'm so sorry.
I'm Jeremy.
Jeremy, you're gonna be my translator. I'm just kidding. I can leave real quick and come back. Hold on.
All right. But that was the ending statement to this week's episode. It's a lot looking at all of this. It feels like there's no way out. There's a feeling of structural control. PSYOPs trying to trick you. The system doesn't care if you're tricked. It just demands you comply. But there's a way out.
We were warned. We were warned back in the 90s by a guy by the name of Master P.
Wow, make him say, "Aw."
It says, he quoted these words saying, "I always feel like somebody's watching me." He was right.
Do you feel like somebody's always watching you?
Well, I mean, that's a different story, but I know that he had to have been right because he was obviously on a music video doing it. So somebody had to watch him through the video.
You know, there's a condition for that.
Yeah.
Because he also completes it by saying, "I'm paranoid in this street game."
And he should be. If you're in a street game, I mean, you gotta watch your back.
Is that why are you paranoid?
You don't want somebody to pull up.
Are you paranoid in the street game?
Not at all, my friend.
Hmm.
But I may pretend.
You know what's interesting?
I want them to know.
You know what's interesting about?
Me, I'm watching them watching me.
You know what's interesting? A lot of times, the value of concern has to do with your value that you believe you have in life.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Is this better?
What does that mean?
It's a little better. Definitely no video.
Oh.
What that means is that based upon how much you feel like you have to lose is usually how much you correlate with how much value you have in the loss of your life.
Mm.
And it's a common notion. People who think they're more valuable think they're not expendable.
Don't do that again, please.
Think about the elites. They think they're very valuable, so they think they're not expendable. But then they program people to be foot soldiers to say, you need a sacrifice. But who's not willing to put their children on the front lines? Them. But they've convinced us that we need to put our children on the front lines to fight their wars. So the value of yourself and what you have to lose is usually correlated with how you feel about the loss of your own life.
Well,
so if you don't think your life is worth that much, you probably don't care if you lose it. I mean, it's pretty common sense.
See, I don't care so much about mine as I do the other people that do. You know, because it has an impact on other people. I recently just found out yesterday that one of my close friends was found dead on the side of the road in Denver, and nobody knows really what happened to him. But it had an impact on me, to where I think a lot of us have been through depressing moments before, to where we feel worthless, and we don't really realize the worth that other people see in us or how it affects them. You know,
sometimes I wonder who actually would be affected if I died. Yeah, maybe people will shed a couple of tears, and that's about it. I mean, I know nobody in Russia is going to care if I die. Nobody in China is going to care. Nobody in Africa. Nobody in America either. Maybe some relatives. Maybe my children would care until they get a new dad. My wife might care until she gets another man. But that's about it.
The ones who go to your funeral are the ones that are going to care, because obviously they took the time out of their day to go. So,
well, yeah, everybody has to pay respects, unless you don't have any respects to pay. But if you do, then they come and they'll pay their respects. But it's not like they actually care. Like none of them are gonna.
Wife cares. Your kids care.
Well, yeah, I was
the
gonna
ones
say
that you live with every single day.
Yeah, there might be some guy there at my funeral looking to shack it up, and he may make him a good dad and a good husband. And that's great. But after that, I'm gonna be gone with the wind, and nobody's gonna care. Least of all me. I'm gonna be the last person to care.
Welcome, Mr. Iron Man.
You're not going to be around to care.
That's what I'm saying. And let's say there's an afterlife.
But you never know the effects that even some of the little things that you do in this world how it affects somebody else's life, because you don't know what everybody else is going through all the time, and all the little deep details. Like I remember one time, for example, I was having a really bad day, man. And I literally just started walking out into the middle of traffic, and my thoughts were, if I get hit, then I get hit. And this one girl actually stopped, and she smiled and waved and let me walk. And that one little thing changed my whole outlook and attitude through the day, just because of the way that I was being treated by other people that day and some of the things I was going through. And so it's like, you really don't know how big of an impact sometimes little things actually have.
Are you sure she was smiling, or could she have had that half-face paralysis that Justin Bieber had?
If it was a frown, it was...
Me too, Iron Man.
If it was a frown, it was a very genuine frown.
Yeah, like some people smile by frowning and vice versa.
Well, a frown is just a smile upside down.
Can I get
an
an amen?
Joe's mom said it pretty well. Just got to turn that frown upside down.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joe Dirt, by the way.
Of course.
Yeah, like Iron Man said, you guys hit those thumbs ups. It helps us out. But I don't know. I think it's interesting because, yeah, on a microcosm scale, we all have these personal feelings and thoughts about our value of our life. But I think it's interesting that it seems as though the average person seems like they're more willing to give up something. And we're all selfish, and I'm not saying that. But we've been programmed, I guess we'll say, that we should be the ones to feel like we're expendable. But now transfer that thought to some of the elites, some of the rich people. Do you think that they feel the same way? And I would say no, of course not. And that's why I think it's interesting that there is some kind of power in self-worth. Because once you've been programmed that you have no self-worth, they've got you to say, that's right. So you go on the front lines. You send your children to fight my war. And you do that because, hey, you're sacrificing for us. But it's really you're sacrificing for them because they believe they have self-worth and you're not worth anything.
Yeah. Well, instead of saying us, they always say humanity, right? They always
Well,
put
yeah,
some
as a
cover
collective,
word over
right.
it to encourage you to do it for them when you think you're doing it for everybody.
But
They
that's-
psyop you into doing it.
But that's why I think it's interesting that there is some importance to see that you have value. Because if you don't, you will find yourself always doing the dirty work of these powerful people because they don't care. They literally think you're expendable.
Yeah, like, I was driving the other day and I ran over a cat. And I knew that the cat, I looked in my rearview mirror and I saw the cat was like paralyzed. So I had to back up and make sure and finish the job. That way it was a quick death, And that probably changed someone's life that day.
You didn't have one of these on you to finish the job, so you just squashed the problem real quick, huh?
No, I usually don't.
Potatoes. I'm not serial killing, I promise.
Of course,
Yeah,
of course. Well, we believe you.
Yes.
Every
Shout
word.
out to Ted B. I'm not talking about the guy on the show. I'm talking about Ted Bundy.
Whoa.
Nice. Well, no, I don't usually carry my machete that close. It's usually, where I keep my machete is between me and my machete. But anyway,
Hey.
It was in a neighborhood, and I'm sure some little kid saw that. Yeah, and you're right, Jeremy. It probably affected some kid's life who, whatever that cat's name, Kitty, didn't come home that night. And they probably went outside one day and saw it like that. And that's okay, because I had money to make, because I have to feed a family. So I'm looking out for the good of my family. So unfortunately, people have to suffer for the greater cause.
So if you got a family to feed, did you scrape up that roadkill and make some kitty stew, or?
This guy.
Is that what you're doing right now?
No, I'm frying potatoes. I'll be back. I gotta go help somebody.
What were you saying, Oregon bro?
Oh, no, I'm just listening. I'm just laughing.
That guy said, kick it to the chorus.
I do want to mention
You just chased after someone in his house.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a politician in the United States. You just came back. Don't worry, you didn't miss anything. You just came back when I just started. There was this politician, I think in the early 2000s or maybe in the 2010s or the 2010s. I don't remember when, but in our current timeline, there's this video of him talking about, he's like, I'm not a cannibal. People are saying I'm a cannibal, but I'm not a cannibal. I don't know if you remember that, and everyone was really confused because no one mentioned anything about him eating anybody. They're just like, what? So who knows what personal conversations what he was having with other elites or what was going on there, but you just have weird stuff like that kind of pop up within those circles. I mean, that might have not been an elite, but he definitely was in the political sector, so he's near these people. But same thing with, I don't know, I've experienced people doing, I'm pretty sure, a pagan ritual at one point, and that's a Lola. It could have, maybe cops were, maybe a police officer, maybe a doctor, one of the local doctors was involved. I don't know. You never know who's involved with this stuff, what people do, but
seems like
I know this is my speculation. Okay, this is based off of personal experience.
Somebody told you about it.
Cannibal. I mean, I'm not a cannibal, but
that's what
I'm not gonna lie. Hannibal Lecter said it pretty well. So I ate his face with some fava beans and a nice lemon Chianti.
That was a choice
of food to some. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, so what you cooking over there, Jeremy?
I am frying up some potatoes.
Yum.
And then I'm gonna
was that a finger?
Cajun seasoning on them, and yeah, maybe a little bit of Frank's Red Hot. Yeah. So we've got MTV Cribs, the Cooking Network. Yeah, I don't remember what else I said earlier, but anyways, go on. Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're good.
About his
my general point is like you said, the elite, like they have their own prerogative, and it's a personal between all of them. Maybe some of them share the same views, but they have their own individual destiny that they've set for themselves. I guess you could say, and some of them are eating people, and they don't want you to know about it.
Yeah, well,
I'm probably, and don't want you to know about it.
I'm not. I think you're right. They have their own prerogative, but I think that's what I was saying. It's like a microcosm effect. We all do. We all have our perspective, but that perspective is based upon your individual value of yourself. The more you value you, the more you're going to hold you as sacred or special, or it has this higher level of intrinsic value. So then eventually what happens is that you start looking at everybody else as expendable. And then it projects to say, you should go do that. You need to do that. And then you find yourself, slowly working up the chain until you get to the point where you think everybody else is expendable. And this is correlated to your value of your worth. Just think about like a CEO and a janitor, or you're thinking about the elites and the rest of us. And the projection of your individual value comparative, even though everybody else is important, the cogs are important, and everybody understands that. But because you think my individual value, society can't exist without me, and you believe that, eventually you start projecting this idea that the rest of the people need to sacrifice, or you're not as worth as much. And that eventually projects into the rest of your reality. And then you see your life project that reality. And you don't even notice it in the beginning, but slowly you'll start changing your lifestyle. You're changing your friends. You're changing how you talk. You might eat people. It doesn't matter. But that's usually correlated to your individual value. And so the lower your value, you're going to be massively subjective to the idea that, who cares if I die? Who cares about anything? Because at some point, you don't think you have this value that can change anything. But the more you actually believe that, you can't think that. You'll never think that. And that's why you see the elites do what they do, because they literally have gotten to the point to where they believe that this world can't exist without me.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you look at Trump. I'm not trying to, crap on this guy or Biden. They're human beings,
Of course.
but they're both they both dodged the draft. Okay, I just want to throw that, and then they both became the presidents later. It's just like you were just saying, they're gonna climb. You're gonna if that's your personal, if you want to give your whole life to the world and try to, I guess, make a change or whatever. But it's like, what if you're a free person working for the free people? If you know what I'm talking about, and that's your goal, is to be one of the illuminated ones, or maybe I don't know if that's what all these people are still doing. But that kind of seems like the glue that kind of holds a lot of these guys together. Is they're all throwing up triangles and whatever. But I don't know. Like you said, they've ascended to that point, and that's their own personal. And
well, really think about it. It's not even like
the world.
It's not even political. Like, really think about it. Think
No.
about a little commune that has like this wise man, and there's just a little tribe in the commune.
Yeah.
That wise man, it may not even be him. Like, the tribe is going to lift him up, and the tribe is going to say, "We need to die for him. We need to live for him. He can't die." So this just seems to be a function of power dynamics and hierarchy. It doesn't matter if you're talking about really billionaires or this obscure tribe. Once people have assessed that this value of your individual has a very high level, it doesn't matter who you are. Eventually, everybody else becomes expendable.
Yes.
And it can be volitional. Like, you can willingly say, "I'm going to do it." Or it's going to be pushed on you, projective, like, you will do it. Either way, your value of yourself starts to project into the rest of reality.
Yeah, here, I'm going to make AI and make it super omniscient, and it's going to help everybody.
There you go.
It's going to look, it's going to help everybody. Isn't it so nice? Look at, it can do your taxes for you. I know that was an issue, and that's going to get cheaper now. Look, all these things are going to get way, way easier to navigate. But here's the thing: everything's under a paywall, and by the time you're not paid for everything, you don't have any money, or whatever. But like it's like these loopholes they put. It's so funny. I don't even know how to really explain it there, but it's like a little kid. For example, my son right now, he's hungry, and he goes, "Hey, Dad, I'm hungry," and it's like, "Okay, yeah, I'll feed you, son." And then I ate most of his food, and then gave him a little bit of food. It was like, "Okay, here," and he's like, "Okay, Dad. Well, now I'm hungry again." It's like, "All right, well, you can just now fill your belly up with this old glass of water."
So you're starting to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, well, at least like I get to live in this place, and I have this shelter. And because that's like how like kind of it is for us. So these like
why don't you give that place over to somebody else who doesn't have a place? Like you could give the place up, keep paying rent for it, but give it up and you and your son will go live at a shelter, but somebody else could have that home.
Yeah, refugee.
Sure, why not? Why wouldn't you do something like that? But that's what you want the elites to do, right? You want the elites to give up their wealth, their shelters, what they've created for their children and their posterity, or whatever their progenitation.
No, they can have wealth and they can have power. That's totally fine.
But if they give it all up so someone else can have it, then they have nothing. And that whoever they give it to, you, me, maybe they give it to Jeremy over here, and Jeremy's going to go eat everybody.
I never said I wanted that power.
Crazy? You know what's crazy is how, like you were saying, that they, the global elites or whatever, they're eating people. It's like, dude, they can afford a ribeye steak and asparagus every meal for the rest of their life, but yet they want to eat other people. That seems, in human flesh, will actually make you crazy. But yet they became these elites that can rule the world. It's almost very ironic,
Well, it's not. But it's not cannibalism if they're lizards.
Whoa.
Well, here, okay.
If they're lizards
about
eating
this.
humans, that's not
Well, then why
cannibalism,
are
and
they
maybe it
living
doesn't have the same
underground?
effect.
Why are they living underground when reptilians need heat?
Because
Well,
They got to
because
stay warm.
They got heaters.
yeah, they all have a
Snakes
couple
only-
of they each carry a heater on them. And I'm not talking about the kind that you think I'm talking about.
You know, they've recently started propagating quite heavy on TikTok those jackets that are electric powered, battery powered that you can charge that they heat you up. And maybe this is just something that the elites have always had so they keep their body warm, and now they're finally giving it to us peons.
Yeah, I've seen people walking around. I've seen people walking around with a heater on their side, and they'll go and put the heat to you while you sleep.
I came out with that idea in the early thousands about
Wow,
the whole
thousands.
coat that you can have a heater on. You know, because I seen Back to the Future too, where he goes and he's on that
How
little
you
board
doing,
and he
Mr.
falls in the water and all of a sudden
Balzania?
he uses that thing and it dries his shoes up and everything. And I was like, man, why don't they make coats like that?
Do you have a burner on you?
Well, I got a burner on.
Good. But do you have a burner that you can wear on your hip? Or a heater?
You talking about a burner phone?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Because that's what I'm saying. These lizards could be carrying burners or heaters. And they could put heat to you.
They're going to want to hug you.
That's it's very unfortunate for them. I live in an area that gets pretty cold.
But you can still get smoked.
Well,
No, you're causing him to think.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I got nothing, man.
You don't want any smoke is what you're saying.
You ain't got that motion.
You're not gonna be able to. Hold on, sorry guys.
I just don't got it anymore, man. That's why I got to take the black pill.
Well,
that's not going to keep you from getting smoked.
Yeah.
What if I want to be smoked?
My he's like, can I? So, with kids, they just don't understand a lot of things quite yet. Well, we all did. We all went through this. But
You'll go through
frozen stuff. We all go through this. We still go through it. Yeah. When it comes to frozen things, he thinks he can just grab it and start eating it. Like, you're gonna break your teeth. It's like, can I have it frozen solid, Dad? Oh my god! And I've given it stuff frozen solid. And he's like, oh.
Well, there is no better teacher than experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen Dumb and Dumber once where a dude licked an ice cold pole. He said, "Kids don't happen to have a warm cup of water on you, do you?"
Well, see, if he does that twice, that shows he lacks capacity. Most of us, we all tried it. Stuck our tongue on something cold.
Well, this is a grown adult.
Maybe he's never experienced it. I'll just give him the benefit of the doubt.
It's hard to believe. He's never seen anybody do it before.
Yeah, just give him the benefit of the doubt. But now, if you do it again, that's just a lack of capacity there. And that's fine.
Do it again,
you don't have
I'll stab you
control
in the
over
face
that.
with a soldering iron. Did your mother know how to sew? Bang, tell her to sew that.
I'm going to get copyrights
Hey, can I
because
ask
this
you guys
guy's so fluid.
So apparently since about 1996, over 90 million people have died in the U.S. Something like that. Or no, maybe since sometime in the 1900s, about 90 million people have died total. And a lot of people have been asking, okay, well, where are all the cemeteries? And there's people that live by cemeteries, and they're like, yeah, I haven't seen a single grave get dug in quite a few years. So I'm just wondering where they're putting all the bodies now.
Well, I would say, you could probably get rid of a lot of them through cremation. You can and a lot of them
Just
probably
cheaper.
get body harvested and then cremated. But
you're not even getting your relative back.
Yeah, I mean,
you're getting a bunch of dog ashes.
Hey, to you, it's just symbolic anyway. You don't know where they could grab dirt from the ground for all you know.
Well, there was a bunch.
the dollar's not as worth as much as it used to be now. So I mean, whether you want the smoke or not, you're gonna get it. Like cremation is real.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, a question I was going to ask both you guys while we have you. We have like 6 more minutes left, but Jeremy and Brogan.
Hold on one statement. Well, I always have to take an opportunity to give out that name because I like it. Mr. Balls on ya over here.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's doing great. He's living the dream, one nightmare at a time. Glad to see y'all live. Only use Wi-Fi on my phone, so no more burner phones for him. He quit AT&T 4 years ago, so that's the advice to you, Jeremiah. Quit using AT&T.
Yeah, we know it's hard to do it cold turkey, but if you can, I think they have AT&T A. Is it AT&T Anonymous? For people who are trying to quit.
They have the new phone company, CIAT.
Wow. Wow.
It's free. Yeah, I mean, if you want to sign up.
The Obama phones. But, so my question.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, what were you going to ask? I'm sorry. I don't think I heard you.
Oh, so I was going to ask real quick. Let's say we discover so I just read about 2 theories. I finished this book from Richard Dawkins, the Selfish Gene book, and he posts 2 theories on how to live forever. Theoretically, we could actually live forever as human beings, and he talks about how to do it. And he has the science and math to prove it now, but he says it's a theory because we can't really prove it. We can't test it, unfortunately. Anyway, but he talks about the problem. He says if we do it, we're going to have to figure out what we're going to do with the population because people are going to continue to produce children. And by the time, he said, within like just 50 years, we're going to be able to stack every human being, the whole earth is going to be covered in human beings like hair. And you're going to have to actually start stacking them. And he says, I think in like 100 to, 200 years, I think, we would literally reach the edges of the universe with how many people, because the exponential growth chart, he did all the math and everything. I don't have it with me today. I was going to bring it because I thought Tom McLaughlin was going to be here to talk about it. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I forgot anyway. So my question for you guys, just laying the premise here. If we figured out how to live forever, who should be able to live forever? Would you guys be willing to opt out and say, I'm going to opt out so somebody else can live forever? Because there's only a certain amount of people that we can have on this planet to live forever. So who would you guys select? The smartest people, maybe the strongest people, maybe the poor people, and kill all the elites?
I would have to say there is an answer for that. I think China's onto it. They call it organ harvesting. So we're gonna have to have more people so we can keep, just to keep people surviving, so we can keep the organs going. So we're gonna have to have more babies, kill these people off, harvest their organs,
like Organ Bro.
So the cycle continues. If you ever seen a movie, it's called
Soylent Green.
Oh man, what is it?
Altered Carbon.
No, it's about this train that it just keeps circling the earth over and over, and it's in a time of when the world has been frozen over, and you got all the poorest people from the back, and then they go away and they.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what it's called, but.
Yeah, but that's just a microcosm of our class system now.
Yeah, that's actually my question. Is because on the train, the elite guy had to actually decide who's going to live and who's going to die. Now he decided that the poorest people would die, of course, but he did have to kill off some of the other elite people just like him. But more poor people had to die, as it's like a pyramid, a right side up pyramid. The lower you are on the totem pole, the more of you have to die. And because he was the head, he was the one who had to choose it. Either they all die or they all live like this. So that's what I'm asking you guys.
David Zerm says that movie's called Snowpiercer.
That's it. Yeah. So what would you guys think? And you guys in the comment section, feel free to comment. Who would you eliminate if we could live forever? Who would you eliminate?
Well, first, people have to accept the premise. The premise is a physical function of this dream, this eternal elixir, like I can live forever. It itself is the paradoxical quandary. If everybody had the option and everybody took the option, then everybody would not die. But at the same time, but you have to accept that premise first on the side.
Well, you
can't play the class game, because at this point people will still procreate. So you have to accept everybody gets this ability. You can't say, well, the elites wouldn't give it away. You just have to accept if everybody can live forever, you're going to have to choose something.
Well, the goal with the question is to help all of us put ourselves in the elite shoes, because it's easy to say, oh, let's say Trump, for example, is the elite, which we know he's not. But let's say Trump is the one who caused that hurricane in Houston. And Trump is the one who's providing all this cancerous food and all this stuff.
Well, Iron Man has a clear answer. The small hats go first.
There you go. So he would say the small hats. Okay. But let's say, we're all going to get mad at Trump. Like, why did you kill all those people in Texas with the hurricane? Why did you kill all these people? Why are you putting all this cancer in the food? And his response is going to be, so that way you can live. People have to die so you guys can live. That's just how it goes, unfortunately, because we're limited on space, limited on resources. We all can't live here. We can't have infinite human beings living.
Well, the easiest answer would be, don't give the solution.
What do you mean?
I got maybe two answers.
All right, go for it.
Number one, maybe how dense the population is and how many people live on the earth. What if they're not telling us the whole truth about that? I'm just saying.
Talking about like flat Earth theory?
How many people are on Earth realistically?
Oh, you're talking about population.
Yeah. Well, let's pretend for the sake of the question, real quick. Let's pretend that the Earth is like 1,000 times bigger than what we're told. Fine, it's still limited. So let's say we can hold 8 trillion people and no more. So once we hit that max, 8 trillion people now can live on this massive planet. At some point, we're going to have to make a decision.
We're supposed to get off we're supposed to decide to travel the stars. That's the other theory, is instead of everyone staying on Earth, if space is real, we can go to space and all this crap, then we need to be able to traverse the nebulas and find new planets and new solar systems to spawn in. Otherwise, we are going to run into this problem probably on Earth, where you're probably going to have to end up living in a matrix. I'm not sure.
Yeah, let me clarify one more.
I'm not answering.
Richard Dawkins did the math, and he said that even you're going to fill up the entire universe. There's not going to be any place on you. You will fill up the entire universe from end to end, because it's also a closed system. The universe isn't infinite.
This is if we live forever.
Yes, right. If human beings can live forever, you're going to fill up the entire universe within, I think he said, 200 to 500 years. That's not very much time compared to forever. So we're going to have a massive problem.
And this is probably, we'll have the ability to switch out sleeves if we want to have different bodies and all that stuff too. So it doesn't matter if you can put yourself into a different body. You're still adding or not even subtracting. You're still the same placeholder.
Well, you're still taking up space, and not only you're taking up space, you're adding mass because you're producing children.
You're right, and which are also going to live forever, right? Genetically, also.
Yeah, that's what the idea is.
That's okay, and then before we know it, we'd just be a big ball of people, and I have nowhere to go. Well,
and now you have to choose who gets to live and who gets to die. So that's what I'm asking. Who gets to live, and who are you going to kill off?
Well, I think if you end up living forever, you're probably going to condemn yourself to a certain type of hell you probably don't understand. And because I don't know how long you can keep the brain good for. Maybe they have some stuff where they keep the brain super fatty and healthy forever. I'm not sure. Maybe they put it in a piece of metal. But it's like, what is the human experience at that point? You know,
Well, just
It'd be
hypothetically,
pretty bad if you. Have
I know,
to,
but like, this is part of the other hypothetical end of it. It's like, even if you did end up living forever, you would be an elite, and you would probably choose that our people are going to live forever, maybe, and the rest are just the lemmings that breed or the resources for us to continue living on. I think that's probably the most realistic outlook to avoid the over density of population.
Well, I'd say you run into this problem. Even let's say from right now, let's say your child, which is maybe like 5 or 6, and let's say that within the next 10 years, they develop a gene modificational treatment that has the ability to activate regenerative properties, even the brain, and they have the ability to live for 300-400 years. Then they basically have some small function of immortality. They're going to keep on producing children for the next 300 or 400 years, and you're still going to have this problem, regardless if you have existential issues.
Right. Yeah. No, and that's what I'm saying. It's like their main concern would be space.
Right.
Is that's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't. So then maybe they would choose who is going to live forever.
That's the question. Who would you choose if you were in their shoes?
Who would I wouldn't choose myself. That's for sure. I don't think you're supposed to live forever. But
so let's say you off yourself, then someone else now gets to choose, and they may take out your wife and kids. They may take out your friends or other family members because you're gone. So either you choose or someone else does, and you're going to have to really trust someone else to make the decisions that you would, whether they're right or wrong, according to how you view that. But they're going to definitely make different decisions.
Did this in history, he actually died so that everybody else could live forever.
Yes, that's what I was just about to say.
Yeah, Adolf Hitler. Yeah, he actually chose the Jews.
No.
He started killing the Jewish people.
Actually,
and then he offed himself.
By Adolf Hitler, but the guy I'm talking about, Adolf. But no.
Yeah.
And,
who are you talking about?
Now preach, brother.
I'm talking about Jesus Christ, bro.
Yeah, amen.
He died so that everybody else could live forever.
Well, we're still dying, so we still have the same problem.
If I were to put that aside, because you said
eternal life is different.
Okay.
So two options. Now, obviously, that's the first options I'm gonna go with, right? But for the sakes of laughs and shits and giggles, I would have to say, eat the rich, kill the elites, and then we all live forever.
Yeah, but think about the quandary you're left with.
Yeah, who's we?
And not just that, it's like if these are the
everybody
people
else is left.
Yeah, if these are the people who have the technology and ability, then what you're doing is just killing yourself anyway. Because you don't know how to do what they did. So if you kill them all, then you're just slowly killing yourself anyway.
Yeah, we use their products like their laptops, their
until
cell
it runs
phones
out
and everything, and then we kill them off. We take their stuff,
but it's going to run off. It's going to run out because you don't know how to continue it on. And this is why I said in the earlier part is your value of yourself is correlated to how much you think it's sacrificial. And the only other quandary to that would be, if you're talking about a deity, like you're talking about God or something, then God already has this premise that he's eternal. So what's the big quandary if God dies? If he takes a form of flesh, like you're talking about Jesus, if he takes a form of flesh, he knows he's going to live forever. So for him to die, what's the big deal? But you don't know that because you're not a God. So for you, that's a different quandary. Your value of your self-existence has to do with your value on earth. You don't know if you're going to live forever or not. You're betting on it.
Well, not only that, if I could add to that, in let's say heaven, right? That most people don't believe that there's going to be procreating in heaven. Like you're not going to be having sex and having babies. Yeah, there's a limited number of people who are going to be in heaven because they're going to live forever, right? So they're not going to keep on procreating. So it can work. There's a limited amount of space, limited amount of people. It works. But here on Earth, though,
right?
Go ahead.
Earth is the physical. They don't have control over what has been created. That's it. This is the carnal life we live. And the whole point of living it is to live like Christ. And I know it's like hard to, and I've had hard times with this. I've been an atheist. I've been someone who hated God because I just didn't understand it. But I think I'm getting more of an understanding of what eternal means rather than what the elite mean by eternal. I think I understand what Jesus means by eternal. I don't want what the elite wants by eternal, because I think it's so anti-human. What they're doing is extremely anti-human. It's anti-creation in so many ways. It's the antithesis of what has been already will be and forever.
Well, let me posit a quandary
world.
to that
Right.
maybe you would accept then. What if, because some religious people believe that God is going to restore the earth. So what if he makes earth, like let's say Jesus comes back to earth and he restores earth to perfection, then it's going to be this earthly heaven and you're going to be living with Jesus here on earth. Then would you be against that?
No, because I mean, obviously Jesus had things
But
worked out
people
in
would
some
still
way,
procreate.
But yeah, I don't understand it. I'm not the one who created the universe, and I
Right.
don't have the answers, dude. And nor do the elite. They like to think they do, but they don't even. They
Right,
have
and that's
theories.
fair. I'm not trying to bash on any of those constructs. It's just that quandary is that
Right. No, and I get it.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because if you were to choose who lives forever, I don't have the choice. And maybe if I was given the option, I don't think I would choose. I don't think I would want my son to choose it, but I don't have control over anybody's life. If these people around me want to choose how to live, they want to live. That's up to everybody else. For me, that's the way I look at it. You have your own choice. If you want to live forever, fine. You can make that choice if the technology comes. If you don't want to live forever and you want to do the natural thing, then do it. But
I think the only
if you do
reason
end up
why
living
this
forever-
idea of living forever is attractive is because we have this idea that we are finite. And so when people believe in a afterlife, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to live forever. That's literally the idea when people say you can have eternal life. The idea is you're trying to find an escape from this finality. But, for those who don't believe in eternal life, that fear is there. That doesn't matter if you believe in a God or don't. Everybody is always going to have to face this finality of death. So some people are going to try to find it in a metaphysical sense, and some people are going to try to find it in a physical sense. But we're all fearing this fear of finality.
Well, the whole idea, the reason I was asking the question was it was just a mental exercise, again, to help us to put ourselves in elite's shoes. Maybe they're not as bad as we
You should,
are.
Mr. Balzania. Not this week though. We're out of time.
Yeah, so maybe I'm not. Maybe the elites aren't as bad as we think they are, or maybe they are. But we can't just say that just because they're killing people and they're choosing who has to live and who has to die on this limited space we have, that makes them evil. Like maybe they're evil for other reasons, like doing things with kids and stuff, because that's not something that's necessary. That's actually something that's contrary to evolution. Even evolution says there's something wrong with that. So, but when the elites cause mass quantities to die, how they're pumping us full of cancerous foods and stuff, this is their way of. In fact, if this seems like them opting out of deciding. So they're not deciding who gets to live and who gets to die. They're not saying the lower class or the higher class gets to live or whatever. They're actually putting the option in our laps. They're saying, look, here's a healthy way to live and here's an unhealthy way to live. And all the people that are going the unhealthy way is like, well, you're choosing to kill yourself off. So the people who want to live are going to live longer. So they actually put the decision in our hands. But the population has to be reduced to, because you can't, there's only enough. Man, one of these days I'm gonna put it on. There's a Disney cartoon that Disney did, or is Disney? I think it was with Donald Duck, and he's explaining how population control is a necessity. And you could tell this is something that people in the '80s probably watched in school. Donald Duck is actually going through and explaining for every household. If you have 2 children, you need this much land. well, if every household has 2 children, then we need this much land. Like the amount of land you need for crops, for farm, for animals, it's huge just to feed a family of 4. So you have to, there's not enough, like we all think, oh yeah, the earth is massive. It's like, well, yeah, but a lot of it has to be used for farmland so we can have food. Unless we go mechanically engineered food, but nobody wants to go that way. Now that could reduce farms, and then we can have more people. That makes more, but people don't like it. So we're like, well, what do you do? To me, it seems like the elites are at least trying to preserve as many people as possible for whatever reason. Maybe they're eating people, fine. Maybe they're doing things that they shouldn't be doing.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what I would do different, though, as far as population control. Because China's over there saying, we're going to decide. We're going to cut off all the female children. You're not allowed to have female babies. And so, like, Russia has their way. America's way is putting it into our lap. Like, I have a free will choice. I could eat Oreos or I can eat vegetables. Anyway, I'm going to go.
Or you can by happenstance just die under surgery for some reason, and then they're like, okay, now we got to harvest your organs. That's how it is in America. I mean, probably in other countries too, but like that whole, oh, well, this guy, yeah, he was a smoker, but his liver's still good. And
who cares? The guy's dead. I'm not going to care if they take my organ. If I'm dead, they can have my lungs, and it's going to help somebody else, or someone's going to eat it. Either way, someone's going to benefit from my body, and that's cool. Like, this is my body, and this is my blood, and it's going to get broken one day.
It doesn't matter if you're healthy or you're sick. It's like, it's whenever they do a lockdown or whenever they do, and that's part of your thing. It's like, well, they're trying to help the population, but it's like, okay, well, if you're trying to help the population, then why are you putting everything on a subscription service? And then you're trying to consolidate everything. How about is that how then you're going to reverse it once the population?
Well, I think a lot of that stuff has to do with compliancy. Like, if they can get you compliant, then whatever they decide. See, we don't really know what the end game will be. We know what we think they will do. But whatever that end game will be, they need you to be compliant. And the way to be compliant is dependency. The more you need them, the more you will just obey them, because you don't know. I mean, you're going to watch this week's episode. I think it's a great picture of it where Colleague shows that King Charles guy or whoever, he is
I've seen him.
Yeah, he's so dependent on all his servants and everybody to do everything for him that he doesn't know how to do almost anything. And so dependency becomes the epitome of compliancy, because he thinks he has all this power, but if he took away all his servants, he wouldn't know how to put toothpaste on his toothbrush.
So do the elite really want to be elite then? You have to start asking themselves this question as a human being.
Well, it's scary. I mean, think about how scary it is. If you think I'm a powerful man, but I don't know how to live without my toothbrush man, then what you really are going to try to do is control the toothbrush man so that he will never leave you. Because the fear would be, I don't know how to do anything. So I need them to always do what I say, because if they ever leave, I'm going to be left with nothing. So they have to control you if they're massively dependent.
Yeah. Now that makes sense. That makes sense.
What is it? Oh, I thought this was like Illuminati.
This is 1967. Walt Disney's. We're not going to watch this whole thing, but just to show you guys, this is
for the Population Council.
You can't see the top. It says Walt Disney Productions, quote unquote, family planning, 1967. So Donald Duck, he's going to be his goofy self.
Human intelligence, the ability to begin with, the number of people in the community.
So he goes through and explains all this stuff. This isn't something that they're even trying to hide. It's not a conspiracy theory. It's
manufactured consent is what it is.
Sure, but it's either that or they decide for us. Like, openly decide, like, you know what? We're going to wipe out everybody who doesn't make $400,000 a year. We'll just wipe them all out, because they could do that tomorrow. They could wipe out a specific ethnicity. They could wipe out a specific religious affiliation or political affiliation. They could do whatever they want, but they're putting it in our
As long as the
laps.
Club of Rome gives them the okay, they'll do it. It's to be honest, they've been doing this for a long time, in many different ways. You could call it genocide, or you could call it eugenics, or you could call it a necessity, which they probably select D, which is all of the above.
If you don't, then everyone dies. Those are your options. Some people die, or everyone dies, because there's not enough room on the earth to feed everybody. It's food, and the whole planet almost died anyway of starvation because we ran into a massive food problem where everybody was searching because they weren't making the farms weren't making enough food, and in every continent too. So every continent was going through this massive food shortage, and they were predicting it was going to get only worse. People are going to start. There was starvation, famines happening in every single continent. So one scientist, I think it was in Germany, discovered that the seagulls. There's a whole island with seagull poop, and seagull poop makes the farm soil, much richer in nutrients, and it helps grow food much quicker. So they figured out that if we can put this on the farms, then it'll now we just need to find it, and they found it. They actually found an island full of seagull poop. So then all the continents and the nations raced to this little island full of seagull poop to get that, so they could feed each of their continent. Like, it was actually a real thing. And this is anybody can look that up.
We actually talked about. I remember I talked about it. Anyways, I think it's just an interesting quandary because a lot of times it's easy. Like like I say earlier, we put up fear barriers for protection. But I think it's a good thought experiment always. It's a healthy one at least, to put yourself in the position of power, because it's easy to demonize because we feel oppressed, but it's hard to understand the magnitude of decision making. And so, as a janitor, I'm going to always find a reason why I'm being taken advantage of. But would I understand the magnitude of decision making that the person who's running the company has to make? And I'm always going to expect more, and I'm always going to think I'm worth more. But if the janitor, was put in the decision making chair, would he make the same decisions about himself being the janitor? Or, if some people are more realistic, they might think, I might actually just get rid of the janitor and get automated. It's cheaper to get an automated robot to clean up my bathrooms. So actually keeping the janitor is actually a lot more humane. It's keeping a job. But the janitor can't see that, can't feel that, because all they can see is their perspective of being the janitor. So I think it's a healthy thing to at least understand the magnitude of power decisions, because we always think we're going to do better. We always think we're going to be more kind or more humanitarian, but at what cost? Because there ain't no free lunch.
Yeah. No, and I felt that way when I was getting an interview at Taco Bell, and this lady who was a hiring manager was like, "Yeah, this AI HR, they'll let you know whether or not you get the job." So it wasn't even her. She's just recruiting people, and it's like, I don't think that person probably understands the length that they're going to keep her probably there, and that is true. The lead are trying to it's like a controlled demolition basically right now. They're trying really hard to not really show all their aces, right, basically, and then piss everybody off and make people very uncomfortable and unworthy and just completely like filth, like nothing. And because that's a lot of people would feel that way, and they would.
I'm gonna leave with this, and we're gonna head out now. We've already gave Iron Man said sure. We got bonus time going on, but I've thought about many times. There's two psyops that could be at play, and one might actually be because they know something we don't know, and it's very bad. Like they may know something about something that's going to happen, and it's going to be something that's out of their control. And just so we can have some time of peace and consolation, this is the best that they can do. And because we are limited on that knowledge, we're just always going to say they're doing something, they're hiding something, they're manipulating things. But a reality could be they know something way more than we do, but they can't tell you because then everybody's going to panic. And then you want to talk about a miserable life. Wait until everybody goes into survival mode and panic. That's definitely worse than what you're living now. So there's multiple ways to think about it is that if you just say, if I was them, but you don't know what they know.
Yeah, it's funny. That's actually probably a better, more concise way to wrap up that thought exercise is let's pretend that the whole world's about to end and you have this capsule underground, a bunker. You can only fit so many people. Who are you going to pick? You're going to pick your family and friends, and that's it? Or you're going to pick the elite minds who could actually restart civilization, but that means you have to let your wife, kids, and all your family die out there. That way there's enough room for all the elite minds. That way they can restart civilization. Or you could give up your own spot, but then again, you put someone else on that seat of power who's going to choose their own family probably, and then everybody gets wiped out. So, yeah, you can pass the buck, but somebody's going to sit in that seat, and somebody's going to pick. And if it's not you, you're not going to like the decision they make.
And that's why I was saying, and this is why I keep repeating, that's why I say earlier, it depends on your value. Because, if you believe that the world, you can say the I don't care thing. I think I'm going to go to eternal life or something. And you just, the moment you think your life or you yourself has low value, you don't care. You say, who cares? Let it burn. Burn it all. I don't need to save nobody. Or you're going to have to say, if. But that's a hard thing because if you have a religious construct that thinks that, you can't say the if because that if is a doubt. The if is the doubt on your religious belief because if you say if, that means, well, if there is no eternity, then we need to preserve this earth. But if there is an eternity, who cares what happens to this earth? So then it leaves you with a also humanitarian quandary. Is that very evil to say, let the earth burn and kill everybody? A lot of people would say, yeah, but if you don't say that, you're doubting your faith. So it's a tough quandary.
It is. It's difficult. Well, yeah, I guess, we'll leave it here, guys. And I can't wait to see this week's episode. I'm very excited, of course. As always, I appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome.
I think you guys will enjoy this week. It's a little bit longer, but colleague points out some things that I think are pretty interesting, especially that video. I never really, I think about it, but I never see it. But he shows a video that actually shows it to you by one of his actual handmade men. And so it's interesting.
There's a lot of nutrients in this episode.
Yeah.
Good for the soul.
But anyways, I appreciate all of you guys. And take it to the bank, Iron Man. It was bonus time. But as always, that's colleague. I'm host, and I appreciate everybody that tuned into the live this week. And
Brogan's on too.
Yeah, and
that was Brogan that just left.
Harry Balzania. He says he's going to try to come on to the live. I like to put a face to that name. I like that. Balzania. So hopefully we'll be able to see him. Appreciate everybody chiming in. David Zerm, Chris Humble, Iron Man, Ted B, everybody that was on. And we'll see you guys next Thursday. But tune in this Saturday, episode 189, Programmed Prison. We're going from PsyOps that control what you think to structured control and behavior engineering for what they control what you do. But until next time, this is the Matrix Network.